talking me.
Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming Podcast, episode 21. And today is another sunny day in Southern California, IA. And it's also a great day because we found out that Spider-Man Miles Morales gets a cat.
Yeah, and it's
That
an orange
fights crime
cat
with
too.
But-
But like my Tommy boy at home.
Right, I know, right? But before we get into things, we got a lot of PlayStation 5 stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
A little bit about Xbox, some other game updates. But before we get into all that, what were you guys playing this week?
Yeah, so this week I'm playing a new game on the PlayStation that just came out a few weeks ago called Genshin Impact.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Great game.
Have
That's
you heard
the free
about
game,
that?
right?
Play that
Free to
on
play?
PC,
Yeah.
iPhone. Great
Yeah,
game.
it's free.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, because like I was on Metacritic browsing reviews,
Mhm.
and I saw Genshin Impact. I had a pretty good review. It was like low 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool, like a little, JRPG or whatever. And so I started to search it like on Amazon. Like, how much does this game cost?
Mhm.
I Googled it,
Yeah.
went to shopping because I was looking to buy it. I went to eBay.
Nobody's
I'm like,
talking about the
dude, this
price?
game isn't anywhere. You
Went on
can't even
OfferUp.
get it. Like, yeah, I didn't go on OfferUp, but I'm like,
Crazy.
but I'm like, how the heck? I would like to try this game out. Like, what's going on? So I
Yeah.
did a little more digging. Then I found out that it's free to play.
Ah, you're like, that's
I was
why
like,
I can't get
snap,
no
that's
price.
free? Because like the videos I was watching and stuff are like really, really crazy.
Yeah.
And it was totally Breath of the Wild,
Oh,
a
yeah.
total Breath of the Wild vibe. Like it's identical
Okay,
in so many ways.
it's an actual RPG.
yes.
It's not a multiplayer.
No,
It
it's
does
not.
have a multiplayer co-op component.
Yes, but it's
Okay.
not like
It's
it's
very
meant to be like you play it by yourself. You have like a team you play with, a
So,
squad.
what would possess the developers to make it free?
Dude, this is what's nuts about this
Cosmetics.
game. Yeah, they sell packs.
Like, little-
So this is the weird mechanic that I don't think I really like.
Uh-huh.
And this is how they incorporate making money is they give you a squad of players that you use and you swap between them like with the press of a button.
Okay. So on
So-
like some Marvel's Avengers type stuff? in a
Oh, is that how
sense?
Marvel's Avengers does it?
don't
I haven't
know
played
for sure,
Marvel's
but-
Avengers.
just
You know, like
instantly-
one of the older ones or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Oh, the
Marvel's
Ultimate.
Ultimate or something like
yeah,
that.
the Ultimate
Like
Alliance.
where
Yeah.
you go in with the squad of
It's-
4. You switch
yeah,
up?
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
that.
But
Okay.
it's like the way you do it is like that's how you use your abilities because like all of them have like special abilities. All your members.
Yeah.
And so like let's say your character's special ability is on cooldown, you'll just swap to another character, use their special ability, swap to another character. You're just juggling these characters' abilities,
Right.
which that takes a while to master. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of a little bit higher of a skill cap.
And it's like real time. It's not like
Yeah, it's
time.
real
Like
time.
turn-based?
It doesn't
No, it's
pause,
real time.
Wow,
So
they
it's
just
live
advanced the
action.
turn-based then, basically.
Yeah, it's yeah. So it's like because in turn-based games you have a party. Yeah, exactly.
And you're able to control all of their moves
Exactly.
and all that stuff.
But it's not one at a time. You're only controlling one guy at a time, and you can even do the whole fight with just that one guy.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But if you really want to get snappy with it, you could just be like jumping between characters and juggling their abilities if you're really skilled at it.
Right.
And that's where they get you because you want to buy packs to get new characters. Like that's how you get new
Ah.
characters.
Okay.
Like the most powerful characters are inside the packs, and they give them a star rating. So like a really good character, like it's between 1 to 5 stars.
Uh-huh.
So a really good character is going to be 4 or 5 stars, right?
yeah.
And like I've seen people spend like hundreds of dollars and they might have like 1 5-star.
Ooh, so
one
the
5-star,
The
that's it.
ratio is pretty
The
low.
ratio seems really low for a 5-star.
You know what that sounds like to me? That just sounds like a mobile game. Like they took.
It's
all
very-
the
it is. It
aspects of
started off as a mobile
and
game.
brought
It's
it
on
to-
mobile as well.
It started
yeah?
off on mobile.
Okay.
It actually started off on mobile.
yeah.
And it came to console, but it plays like a console game.
Mm.
Like it plays like Breath of the Wild in a lot of ways. So
Okay.
they straight ripped Breath of the Wild.
Which is a
Like
good thing.
yeah, which is a good thing. You have the stamina bar, same exact as you
Yeah.
run.
You can mount and
Everything is climbable.
climb. Yeah.
So you just clean
Everything
everything
is.
just like Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
Everything is climbable, and you have your stamina bar, and you can jump. It's the same exact movement button layout.
Okay.
Like it's identical.
That's pretty
You have
good
the
then.
glide,
Yeah.
so you jump and you glide.
Oh, you get a
exact
little
same
parasail
mechanic.
joint?
Yep, exact same mechanic, dude. I can't even tell you. It's 100% Breath of the Wild in those ways. The combat is where it's different. It's a permanent weapon too. The weapons don't break, so I like that.
Okay. That's cool.
Yes.
And you get like each character gets like just one weapon, or there's other weapons you can find to
No,
get better weapons.
Yeah. Well, every character has a weapon type that they wield,
Right.
and then you find more weapons.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
Yeah.
you can upgrade.
Yeah,
that.
and the way like you
And
level
gear.
up is kind of and it's a whole gear system too.
Hmm.
So this is more of an RPG than Breath of the Wild is.
Right.
So it's really fun. Like the combat's really fun. Of course, it's Breath of the Wild. The world is like almost as pretty and expansive as Breath of the Wild is.
Hmm.
Like it's incredible that this game is free.
All right. So I got 2 questions. For
You really need to you need to download it, man.
Well,
it's
yeah,
free.
I'm going
It's
to download
free,
it,
bro.
'cause I heard about it. Like, there's a couple of people that I talk to regularly on
Uh-huh.
Twitter, and I heard them mentioning it, and I was gonna check it out, but I just been in Destiny. But so I got 2 questions for you. One, do all the characters that you originally start with, are they all the same?
So you start with your main dude, your main guy,
Right.
and then you come across people throughout the story that join your party,
Okay.
right? And so they become your party. So you can find characters in game. You don't have to buy packs
Okay.
to get characters.
All right.
Now you can find characters in game, but they gave me like 20 packs to start the game. They give you like 20.
So they're pretty generous.
Yeah, they like. I think if you join now, like it's a promotion time like right now, so you should probably hop on it like quick. Like even
Let me just go hop on now.
listeners, like they give you a whole bunch of free junk
Uh-huh.
that made me kind of OP at the start of the game.
Okay.
Um,
But you've kind of dociled out right now.
Well, I didn't spend it all because they give you a whole bunch of experience boosters too. Like one of the main ways you level up in this game is you kill enemies. That gives you like a tiny amount of experience, and then you open chests up, and the chests drop out like adventure logs or whatever, and you pop those adventure logs for experience.
Mhm.
But you don't want to blow it all on one guy, right? Because you have like your whole party,
You have a
so you
whole
want to
squad.
remember to spread out some of that wealth and try to keep your guys around the same level
Yeah.
if you're trying to move through the dungeons, as you're moving through the game consistently.
Okay.
But then like when you buy the packs, they don't just give you characters, they give you weapons and armor too.
Oh,
So
okay.
like you might get a character, it's just a random pack, right? Like so just you get a whole bunch of stuff in the pack, and you might get a character or you might get weapons. And it's kind of neat. If you duplicate a character you already have, they give you a new ability.
Oh.
So
okay.
instead of it being just like a waste, they give you something for like a new thing that you didn't have before.
And they don't do like upgrade stars or anything like that, like because some of the other mobile games, once you get like another one, like maybe you're able to combine those two.
Oh,
to make
I don't
like a
think
2-star
so.
version
I
of it
don't
or something
think
if it's a 1-star.
so. That's a good question. That I don't know about.
Okay.
I haven't duplicated anyone yet because I haven't spent any money yet.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I mean, if I get a little more into it, which I've been enjoying it, then I'll toss them a few bucks,
Okay.
for because this is incredible. Like this game being free is incredible.
Yeah.
I can't. It feels like a full featured AAA title, and it's free to play.
Okay. My other question was gonna be, how much are the packs?
$2.99, I think, like a couple bucks,
Okay.
like a couple
Alright.
dollars a pack.
It's not too heavy on the pocket.
Yeah, so you might want to spend like $10 by yourself, like 5-10 packs or something like that, and see if you get lucky. I really don't think you need to do that though, like to enjoy the game. I'm sure like really deep end game, when it gets to really deep end game, you're gonna might need to spend some money to like get some characters or something. I don't know. But just playing the game normally, it's been easy. Like I haven't needed to spend any money, so I wouldn't say it's pay to win. It's probably pay to dominate. If you really want to dominate it, you could pay money. But
Right.
it seems totally playable like a normal game to me without spending a dime.
Is there an arena feature on there where you can play against other people's squads or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen
No?
that.
It's
Okay,
just
because that's
co-op.
like that's like staple in a mobile game.
Yeah,
when you
I was
have,
just
like, random
concerned,
pack
like,
stuff.
crap, like, do I have to get characters? No, like, your starting guy is plenty strong enough, and you get the swords and stuff that make him stronger, and like, he was just mowing through everybody that I was playing against,
Okay.
so it's
Alright.
fun, man. I recommend
Definitely
it,
play
to,
that.
Yeah, for sure.
especially if you like Breath of the Wild. Like, it's a clone, which isn't, like you said, a bad thing at all. Like, it's
Yeah.
they do a good job. It's not like a broken clone.
Okay.
Like, it feels like Breath of the Wild. I mean, the trees have apples in them. Right, so you climb up and you grab. Yeah, I
You
guess
grab an
it's
apple.
identical, man. It's
Okay.
crazy. And I like how the weapons don't break. That was my one complaint I had, that I constantly had to shuffle through weapons. This you don't. You have your weapon, it's on you.
Yeah.
If you find a dope 4 or 5-star weapon, it's not gonna break, man. It's gonna get it. You get it for the whole entire.
And you have like endless backspace, or it's limited.
It's like 500 capacity. It's
Oh,
pretty.
so that's
freaking
damn near
huge.
endless.
Yeah, it's massive, and it changes how you look. So when you get a new sword, you see
you can
it.
actually see it.
Yeah, unlike
Nice.
Marvel
Gear
Avengers. you have like the gear is like
Trinkets.
trinkets.
Yeah.
So you don't
Okay.
really see a whole lot of change in like how you look, but your weapons and bows and that stuff like that will all change.
Awesome.
So it's
That's
dope.
cool. So you've been on that heavy then.
Well, whatever time I do get, you know,
Okay.
I don't get a whole lot of time
Yeah.
to play, you know.
Okay.
But the time I do get, I do hop on that and I play that. But I still play Hades too,
Okay.
especially like before I go to bed for an hour or two. Like
Yeah.
I'm hopping on Hades, you know.
Okay.
So that's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good about that game.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Mark?
So like Ray, I downloaded that Genshin
Oh,
Impact.
cool.
Oh, okay.
You
All
did
right.
too.
So I
Nice.
played on the PC.
So I'm the only one that's slow to
Yeah.
this.
So on the PC, the game looks beautiful. Like, it is incredible how buttery smooth it is. I spent so much just in that little starting area, just exploring every nook and cranny, trying to climb everywhere I could, collect all the little,
Mhm.
you know, lizards and whatever's running around.
Mhm.
Try to like collect everything. Try to search for every chest I could. Like, it's a really fun game. It is a gacha game. You know, you're gonna want to buy these packs and get everything you can, but it's so fun that's, you know, I get it. They need to make their money.
And it's for every system or what?
So right now it's for PC, mobile, and PS4. The cool
Okay.
thing is if you play on PC, it's completely cross progression with your phone. So I downloaded it on my phone. I personally don't like playing it on my phone, but my character and everything, you know, you just log in with the same account and everything you have is just cross progression.
It feels better on like it's made for console, right?
It seems like
Or
PC or
PC console,
that's
right?
the way to play. It's so buttery smooth. On the phone, I don't like it brings up the HUD and you have to click the abilities. It just seems a little more natural on the PC or console. But the phone is a viable option, you know.
Okay.
It just doesn't look anywhere
Mhm.
near as good as it looks more like the Switch. And then when you play on the console or PC, it's like an actual, like you're saying, a AAA game.
So you've
It
been playing it
does.
on PC, not
No,
PS5.
I play on PS4.
Or 4.
PS4, yeah.
It looks equally good on PC and console. I've watched people stream it on console, and it looks just as good.
It feels totally normal, man. Like it was made. It
But
just it feels like Breath of the
It
Wild,
looks
honestly.
like a big studio made the game.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. It's
it-
not a joke.
The game is polished. Like, it's a surprisingly free to play game, and people are hooked. Like on Twitch.
Yeah, and everybody's
my-
voice acted.
Oh, yeah. So
Even when you go to the
everybody-
blacksmith or whatever,
Fresh,
everyone
everything.
is voice acted, dude.
Okay,
The whole
so
game.
they put
They've
some time into
yeah,
it.
dude. It's
And
crazy.
That's nice.
It sounds good.
Now,
Mhm.
does it seem like it will have updates regularly?
Oh yeah.
Or you
yeah,
think they're just
dude.
gonna like kind of like let it sit?
Nah,
So they're
that's the
making
first
like
time,
money.
man.
They're
Yeah.
they got millions of players. They got on Twitch. People are hooked. Like people are hooked.
Mhm.
People who play MMOs like EverQuest or other things that I follow. That's how I got into the game because I saw people who play EverQuest. They're playing this,
Mm.
and I asked them like, "So what makes you play this game?" They're like, "Oh man, it's so fun! Like it's really truly fun." That don't play it for like the co-op or online because that's very very limited. It's just a
Okay.
great single player game.
Yeah.
Because for co-op we could just run dungeons, but it's kind of like that State of Decay where all right, you know, only one person's kind of
It's collecting the stuff and getting
I'm
forward
just
in the
kinda
game.
I'm just kind of helping out. So like he's running
Gotcha.
the dungeon, I'm joining his lobby.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, that's just kind of like a cherry on top. It's not like the main thing. So I've been playing that a little bit, and also I've been playing World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft got ray tracing, guys.
What?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So sadly, my
I gotta
graphics
check
card
that out.
is a cutoff.
Damn.
You need the 2000 series or the
Oh.
3000 series.
So
I have
you're,
the
like, right
1000
below it?
series. So I'm like right the one gen on my graphics
Dude, I'm
card
gonna have to look
before.
at videos though.
But yeah, can you believe World of Warcraft got ray tracing, man?
Reflections,
Next
huh?
gen.
That's
It's
crazy.
next gen now, guys.
That's crazy.
So I've been playing the pre-patch. It's been very, very, very disappointing. So shout outs to
that
Blizzard. My server's been
sucks.
down. I was like, come on, man. Like
shouts to your trash.
That's
shout outs to Blizzard Activision.
Shout out to
it's
Blizzard
like
for
you guys can't
failing.
even get a pre-patch right. And I heard Blizzard is in France. They're like axing, 500 people. So they're saying that I don't know. Blizzard is doing some stuff, man. Like 400 or 500 people they're letting go, and supposedly like all the people are on strike right now. So I don't know if that's gonna delay like some other developments,
Yeah.
because I guess in France it's a little different. You can't just axe people like that. They're all unionized over there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on, man? Shadowlands has been a mess.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but this pre-patch has been whack. All the new content doesn't even come out yet. It was just like they did the level squish, so now the max level's 50.
So they're letting you get used to it, to that layout.
Did you
first,
lose
and then
abilities?
No, you gained. So they
You lost
stopped,
levels but gained abilities?
So they stopped pruning abilities like they've been doing because they've been wanting to make World of Warcraft a children's game. So every expansion they remove all these buttons. So
it's never a children's game though. Even in its current state though.
They're trying.
It's far from a
Soon it's
children's
just gonna
game.
be one button.
Your
You just click.
rotation is like 3 buttons, but now they're adding all these abilities that they've been removing for the.
Well, look, if you want to play it serious though, there's 14, 15 buttons you need to know very well.
Oh, you need more than that. But I'm just saying.
If you want to play it at any serious level.
They've been adding abilities that are actually part of your rotation because they've been pruning all these abilities for years. Every time an expansion comes out, they've been removing abilities. Like, even things that didn't affect gameplay, they removed it. Like, the eyes of the beast, like, control the vision of your pet. Like, they just been removing abilities over the years. But finally, they saw that, people, like, in Classic WoW love all these old abilities. So they've been adding them back to the game. So my paladin...
The same shit, or they've been, like, adjusting it so that it's cooler?
Same abilities. Same abilities that you used to love.
Just reintroducing them, yeah.
No reason.
Hey, I know you missed this one, so we're gonna bring it back like Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been adding back. So that's the one thing I like. Because on my paladin, there's abilities in the talent tree. So they're like they messed up the talent trees too because it's like a pseudo illusion of what I'm gonna build my character, but there's only so many viable abilities. So now, like, for example, there's a kind of like an execute for the paladin. You throw in your hammer of wrath. So I never picked that ability because there's other viable options on this tree. So finally, everyone gets hammer of wrath. So things like that paladins have had since day one. Now they're just giving them back to us. Auras, we're getting auras. They took those away for years. So I'm happy that they're giving all these things that make your class your class. Yeah. You're getting what makes you back. So that's the one thing I could say.
I just don't think World of Warcraft has ever been casual. I know, like, they've been trying to move more casual, but I just don't think it ever has been at any point in its life.
I thought it was.
I think
it's
if
gotten
you have a
more
grind, you can't be casual.
I thought it was casual since 2004 when I first
No way,
played it
dude.
on launch. It was. Every other MMO you couldn't play by yourself.
Dude, Genshin Impact is casual. 2 buttons, 3 buttons. That's what I consider casual, dude. World of Warcraft has never been casual. Like, this is
for an MMO. It introduced
for an MMO. It might be more casual, but I'm talking about just a game in general. As a game in general, World of Warcraft. MMOs in general, just most MMOs in general are not casual games. Like, even World of Warcraft are not casual. You need to know 14, 15 buttons, dude.
Comparing it to all MMOs, it is on the casual side. But if you compare it to all games as a whole, then yes, it's very
That's
complex.
what I mean. It's very complex for all games as a whole.
I'm speaking in terms of comparing it to other MMOs.
Yeah, which my point is, I think it's hard to make an MMO, a legitimate MMO, casual in general. So I think it's actually a good thing they're going back to more of the people who love to play it. Right,
like
going back to its roots.
You
might as well. Those are people that want to play it anyways. You're not going to get casual people to play it. Yeah, DC Universe is kind of a casual MMO. And that's casual.
Yeah.
Right. You have like just a handful of buttons. You know, like that's it.
It's easy enough to just play.
If you can play it on a controller, then it's casual, right?
Yeah,
like if you can't, then it's not casual. It's going to be tough to master that.
That's cool. You kind of started with like. You kind of gave me a little roller coaster ride. Like, you started high, and then you dipped low, and you went up.
Yeah, so it was a roller coaster, and they got so many subscribers last week. Like, a lot of people are coming back to the game. The servers, there's been like a queue to get on. Which
so ray tracing just sold it, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, ray tracing. If I want to see it, I gotta play it.
Yeah, and you gotta buy like the latest graphics card. So, but yeah, it's been fun though overall. Now you can level up with anybody. Like, there's like time walking. You can do any expansion you want. So it's a good time to level up and mess around.
Okay.
So overall, it's okay.
That's cool.
What about you, Golly Sovereign?
Yeah, for me, the majority of my time has just been Destiny 2. Yeah. So, like, the Festival of the Lost, I just been playing the crap out of that, just trying to get the 3 exotics, like the exotic ghost, the ship, and the bike. So, it takes
those
hell
keys,
of a grind.
right?
Yeah, it's.
How many of you are now?
I've actually earned like 28. So I need 45 in order to get all 3 of them.
All right, sounds like you're on track.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
halfway.
actually not that bad. Unfortunately, it seems as if they've kind of directed you into playing multiplayer a lot more. So
Oh,
PvP.
PvP.
Yeah.
Which you hate.
So pretty much like if I play Crucible or Gambit, almost like every 2 or 3 matches, I'm guaranteed like or
Nice.
more than often I'll get like 2 decoders
Right.
at a time. So instead of like 1 or something. So they're kind of quicker to get them in that sense, as opposed to doing like strike or something. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
strikes will they
Take long.
It
take
takes a
bit of
long time,
yeah,
and then you
yeah.
might not even get something right. Yeah.
Right. So there's like quite a few things. There's like literally only 2 guns that you can get by the Festival of Lost, and that's the Horror Story and then like Wolf's Bane or something of that sense. It's like an auto rifle, and then I think they're both auto rifles or something like that. But I still haven't gotten the Horror Story yet, so that's the one I'm trying to get, and hopefully I'll get that after I have opened up 45 caches. If I don't, there's a problem with that. But that's literally all I'm trying to do right now is just try to grind out the keys. And then once I have like 5, then I'll go into the forest, the haunted forest, and then open up my caches and then rinse and repeat.
Right.
So once I'm done with that, then I'm probably gonna get into Genshin Impact.
You're gonna like that one. It's
Yeah,
totally up
I'm
your alley.
literally just trying to grind this Halloween stuff out so that I can get all the stuff before it goes, and then I'm gonna play something else.
Yeah.
Like the story and stuff, that stuff will be there. The gameplay is gonna be there, and I'm really just waiting until like, what is it, the 12th that the expansion comes out on
yeah.
Game Pass.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been doing. So, but yeah, I've been having fun with it. You know what I mean? It's a grind, but I actually found a PvP that I actually like.
Which one is it?
Because I hate PvP. I
Yeah.
suck at it. I'm an ass at it. But
Yeah.
but it's called Mayhem.
Okay.
Is that the free
I don't
for all?
remember that one.
Yeah, well, it's not free for all. It's like
trying to remember the
6
gameplay.
versus 6,
Okay.
and your supers are like
Oh,
quick.
Yeah. I
Like,
remember.
you'll
you're
pop
just
a
supering
super,
all the time.
use it, and then like 30 seconds later, you got your super again, and you could go again. And so
So y'all
like,
just blasting each other all the time?
dude, man. I mean, Titans and Warlocks have been pretty annoying.
Just blasting
when
everybody.
I come across them. Yeah, the Warlocks have like this
the ball,
Nova
right?
bomb or something
yeah, the
like
ball.
that just
yeah.
tracks you.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you can't run away.
Yeah.
And then if you try to like go around something, it'll blow up, and the
radius.
the radius is
The
just
blast
like,
radius, huh?
Yeah, it'll
Get
wipe
ya.
you out still. It's
So
just
why do
like-
you like it?
I like it because I can kill people too. You know what I mean? Like
Gotcha.
my
Your
problem
super
before
works.
is like I don't know which guns I should be going in there with. To try to like which ones are gonna hit harder. In the PvP.
So what do you
and
use? The
then-
Arc Dancer, or what are you using?
So
To kill
I have
things.
I have 2 of my 2 hunters. So one I use the Void Hunter, but
the bow?
I've been doing I've been using the bow, but I was talking to one of my coworkers and he was telling me about all the other abilities, and I never actually like looked in the talent tree. I just picked it up and just started playing exactly how I
Uh-huh.
played before. So it's like the ultimate Night Stalker. I don't know what the heck of the name of it is, but it's where you pull out 2 knives, and then you'll run around slashing and whatnot,
OP,
and then you can use your heavy slash, and then you'll attack, and then you'll go invisible, and then you can run around some more and then keep killing and stuff. So that one's dope. It's really good in PvE, but in Mayhem,
Yeah, I'm thinking
kinda
in
like-
Mayhem.
it's cool, and you get kills, but it's not hitting like a Titan would or like a Warlock would. The hunters just in general, their abilities don't hit like those.
Yeah, I know,
'Cause, like,
for
a Titan
PvP.
can just throw down hammers and
I
bury
know,
them.
dude.
The AoE
The
is just
hammer's
gonna,
is
like, blow
crazy
people away.
strong.
And then and the Warlock can just launch some
Right.
stuff, and as long as it had a target,
I mean,
it's
even the
going after
Titan
it.
Smash is gonna kill you, dude.
Dude, man, that whole where you can just jump up, electrify
Yeah.
yourself, and then come down as a freaking like
Striker.
Superman drop is like annoying as
I
hell.
know. I always was annoyed by that,
I
man.
can drill.
It always
I can
annoyed
be drilling
me.
a dude and then
And he-
about to kill him, and then he turns.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
like,
most
I'm wiped
annoying,
out.
man. It's the most annoying.
Yeah,
It feels
so-
like the most cheap.
yeah.
It's one thing to get blasted by an overbomb or a hammer thrown at you, but when you're about to kill somebody and then they smash you dead like that,
Right.
I hated that.
Yeah, so but I've been running my second hunter because for some reason after the transfer of all of the new stuff, it's literally the only hunter that I have that has a finisher. And I've wanted to try the finisher out to see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that one and I just gave it my gear from my other hunter that I've been running, and I was, back up to where I normally was. And I think the finishers are cool. And and I was just running that, so I'm running arc.
Your
with
arc
him.
on that one?
Yeah. So I use the middle one for that one. It doesn't. It seems like the same, with the staff.
Yeah.
It seems like the same for all of them. So that one I didn't notice a big change as opposed to the Night Stalker. But it's been cool. I've been able to wreck, because it's just like once you pop
You just
that
slice
super,
it everybody up.
yeah, you just start clicking the swing and just point in the general direction, and it's gonna take you right to it.
yeah.
I like that about it. It's almost got like a homing hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as long as you're close by, you can just hit it a couple times.
You're killing
and,
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be near it. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. But
That's funny.
on to the news, right?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So PlayStation 5, they give us like a little teaser earlier in the week
Burger
with
King.
The Burger King, me opening the bag with a little blue light coming out. And then I saw something somewhere that I guess they had shown some people some boxes or maybe gave them some or something like that, but they was hugging the shit out of these big ass
They're giving
boxes.
away PlayStation 5s, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe they have like some type of a giveaway going
Yeah.
on there. So I saw a couple of people, pictures of people like walking out or giving them hugs and stuff like that. Those boxes are huge, man.
Well, this is a huge console, bro.
Yeah, it's a
It's
huge
a
console,
big
but
console. We talked about
know
that
how-
last week.
you know how like a lot of the consoles, I don't even know why, but a lot of things when you get them, they come in like hefty packages, and you pull it all out and you get like this tiny thing, and you're like, damn,
Yeah.
like why do I have all of this
Yeah,
extra
all
stuff
this
I have to
waste.
throw away? But it's just this just seems like really big. Like, I mean, it's got the handle on it, and I remember the last one, the PS4, having a handle,
Mm-hmm.
but like this sucker is like it's like that big.
Yeah, dude. I believe
But-
it. It's a huge console, man. Very big console.
Yeah, but
You're gonna have to find some space to put that thing there somewhere.
yeah, you might have to break down the box or something, or just throw it away. I mean, I've been
Yeah,
keeping
cut it.
boxes.
I
But
keep the
I'll probably just throw
boxes,
it
but
away.
yeah.
Sell the box might be worth something. Everyone that
Maybe.
can't get one, you sell it, and it'll
Just
be
so I
like
could
an
stare at
IOU
it?
for Christmas. You give it to somebody, and inside it's IOU. Who knows? People might do that.
An IOU. That's called a gag gift, man.
Uh huh.
It'll be a gag gift. It'll be an Xbox Series S inside. It'll be like, what is this?
Oh, no, that's it.
That would hurt. I'd be like, you got the receipt?
Xbox Series S. I couldn't find a box. So couldn't find one. Only one that could fit
Yeah,
it.
you're like, you know what? I just didn't even want to wrap this one.
Yeah.
You give it in the PS5 box,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, open it up, and then it's the S inside.
You're like next gen.
Yeah. Hey, at least you got the next gen,
Yeah,
right?
I know. Most
But-
underwhelming next gen in the world, man.
Yeah, but yeah, so the PS5 UI reveal.
Yeah.
Give me you guys' thoughts on, first impressions of it.
Yeah. So when they we saw the opening splash, the gold or whatever.
The leak from last
That
week.
was legitimate. So
Yeah.
we know now that leak was
With the little
legitimate.
dots.
Yeah, like that was the legitimate opener. They didn't change it since whenever that guy made that video, they didn't change it. So that is confirmed. And it's cool looking. And then I was kind of expecting something a little bit more flashy when they actually entered into the UI, but it seemed a little basic to me. And there's is there no themes anymore? Like,
There
'cause-
probably is themes, but that's the basic.
It seemed
basic
like the
thing.
game kind of dictated the theme. no?
yeah, I agree. Like, I didn't see themes. Like, because when they went down to the home screen, so that's one thing too. It's like two screens now, which I wasn't too big of a fan of that. Because like you enter the game and now the backdrop is the game, like what Mark was saying, and then you have the cards, right? That's some of the new functionalities. But in order to get to the home screen to see like what games you have available to play or what like to access your library, you go down to a separate menu at the bottom of the UI and you go to the home screen. And it seemed like whatever app or application or game you were cursoring over, that game's like artwork took the whole screen up. Like, so if you cursed over that Destruction All Stars or whatever, the whole back screen became Destruction All Stars.
Right.
Right. I'm like, dude, where'd the themes go? You know, like it's one thing, you know, to have the thing cursor over and, you know, because like on PS4, if you go down into its community information, then you kind of got like a back screen of like the game. But the standard thing was your themes. So that was kind of interesting to me. I don't know if themes are gone or if they got rid of themes. So that was kind of like one of the buzz kills for me as I saw it. It just seemed like everything was big time on advertising words, throwing something at you, telling you something, getting you to do something. That's the direction this kind of felt like it was going. I mean, it was fast and snappy. I liked that. What'd you think, Mark? How it looked?
So, I really liked it. So for me, the themes wasn't big. I don't care much about the themes. So if it's confirmed that themes don't come, that's okay with me. But first off, I like that the home screen, just, you know, when you turn on your console, it looks like it's a new and improved version of the home screen that we currently have. You have all your icons, you navigate through.
When you go down to the home screen?
Well, no. So you know, like when you first turn on
Mhm.
your console, currently
Right now.
and then with the new home screen on the PlayStation, it looks like the new one is just an iteration of what we currently have with just a more refined icons.
Mhm.
So I really like that they just built off on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a minimalist vibe to
Mhm.
it, nice and clean. And then the new cards feature, it looks fantastic. I like how it's just big in your face and it has a lot of information. I like how it goes from the game back to the cards pretty quick and easy, and I like how it's all, you know, relevant information. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It, you know, provides value to you because it pertains to the game. I like when you're in a game, that bottom new bar, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know the exact name for
It's
it.
like the navigation bar,
new
so you can navigation to
new
like your friends
navigation
list,
bar.
your party list, the home screen. Yeah.
I like how it's just simple. The icons show exactly what it is, and it's just quick and easy. You know, it's just left and right. So I really like that. You know, it reminds me of, like, you know, back on Macs when they used to have the dock, and it kind of, you know, I don't know if it's still like that, but you know, like on Mac OS, when you used to have the dock and it had all the icons.
Yeah, you have that still.
Oh,
yeah,
you have that still.
Yeah.
I like that style. You know, it looks pleasing. It's simple to use.
But see, to reference that, like, but you still have like a standard home screen on a Mac OS, right? Like your desktop, right? So whenever you go back home, you have your standard desktop, and then you have all your icons at the bottom that take you to something other than like your standard desktop.
But when you have a window open, you still have your.
Yeah, you still have.
Just like this.
Yeah.
When the game is running, you still have this, and then you still have your home screen.
Well, you have to press the PS button though.
Right. But I'm just saying.
So not when the game is running. When the game is running,
you do have that. When you push the PS button, the cards.
Yeah, when you push the PS button.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you push the PS button. Right.
Right.
Yeah, which is no different really than what the current PS4 UI is like. When you push the PS button, you go to the home screen, you have access to all those things too.
Yeah, but you totally go out to the home screen though, don't you? Like you can't even see the game anymore.
Yeah, but
when you do
why would
right?
that matter? I can't play while I have the PS button pressed on the new UI or the PS4. I can't play the game. So what does it matter if it's visually in the background or
I mean,
not?
We could talk about that when we get to the features part, because the cards, it brings, you know, so much.
Yeah.
But you know, just going back, I like how it's simple, it's clean, it looks like.
I agree.
Very easy to use. It's not overly complicated. You know, it's very simple.
I think it's a tad more complicated only because you have to do an additional. It's very minimal, but you have to do an additional press to get somewhere that you normally wouldn't have to now. It's only one additional press, but it's still easy. I mean, I think the current PS4 UI is very easy to navigate too.
Yeah.
Very simple, but
yeah, I like
how clean it is.
The bottom dock, it just has. I mean, I feel like those would be the most things that you would navigate to. So I think for the most part, it's still one button click. You know, maybe if you go to the settings, that might be additional, you know, clicks.
Well, for instance, on my PlayStation 4 right now, the moment I press my PS button, I go to the home screen and I can swap games. I can switch to a whole new game immediately.
Gotcha.
Currently, I have to press the PS button, then I have to go down to the home screen icon, press that, go home, now click the game that I want to get to.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's
so
they're both simple. I just think it's slightly, just ever so slightly more complicated on the PS5. than the PS4. I
Gotcha.
don't even know if complicated is the right word, but it's just slightly
just takes more
yeah,
clicks
just
to do
slightly, yeah,
certain
one
things.
or two additional clicks.
But when we get to the features, I think in certain respects it'll take less clicks to do some things. So swapping games
for some things, yes. For some
some
things, like the
things
card
has
things or
more,
to get
some
information
things
will
has
be
less.
yes. I agree with that. Yeah.
So,
Anyways, what'd you think,
What do you
Godly?
think, Godly?
I like the way it was working. I thought it was nice. I mean, I don't really the themes are cool. But I honestly don't really stare too much at the home screen to like really care. So, I mean, it's kind of like you'd almost always have like a different dynamic theme because of whatever game you're playing. You know, it would just show you whatever you were playing. You know, so it's
On
just
this
like a
one?
different background.
On
yeah.
the new one, yeah.
Yeah, on the new one. So, but I still feel like there will be PS5 themes because I could
Yeah,
have
I'm just
sworn that I
wondering
saw
how it gets
themes
incorporated.
in like a digital deluxe version of some game. I could have
Gotcha.
sworn like one of the games that there was like a theme when you downloaded the game or whatnot. So I don't know. I think there's still something to play with.
I'm just
there.
wondering because they didn't
See
show
what
it
it
at
is.
all. So I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I like themes. I like to be able to customize my screen, dude. That's fun for me. But anyways,
But yeah, from what I was looking at, I thought that you had several options to choose from with the initial cards that were there. Like you could choose the first card was the game that you were playing, which was shown on your background, and then you could move to the other cards, which were some other games that you had on your system or whatever. So you could easily swap to that. So I don't even know. I mean, I could be wrong, but it didn't look like you would even have to touch the home screen or go anywhere else. You would just slide over to the next card, click it, and then start playing it. But I mean,
I don't think that was a launcher, a game launcher.
No.
I don't believe. No. The cards were just we can go over the cards and the functionality.
Yeah.
But I don't think those executed a game.
So so in the example they did. So you saw your friends playing Destruction All Stars, and you clicked it, and boom, you joined them, and it launched the game straight out of the gates. So it may only be for friends.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's like
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know if it was like for the trophy thing though or not. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looked like it was a lot of stuff that you'd have like pretty quick at your fingertips. One thing that I kind of liked, at least I believe it's what I was seeing, but it looked like when you were on a game and you went down below it or whatever for the cards and stuff that were accessible down below, they gave you like all of the stuff you could purchase that was in it, right? Or was I off?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know actually. I don't recall that.
Okay, it seemed like it could be like a quicker access to
the
its store as opposed to like
Mm.
going to the store and then having to make all of these routes, you know, just to find out like, oh, can I buy silver for Destiny 2 or can I buy like this random item pack for Fortnite or something like that, you know? But I just like the way it looked. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really like too keen on the UI as far as like how it's looking and stuff. Like the only thing I really care about is the games. Like I just want to pop to the game, get to the one I want, you know, and be there. If I can rearrange stuff so like there's like 2 games that I really play a lot, like let me slide those to the front so that I always have access to them.
Can we do that?
That'd be cool. I don't know.
I
but
would
I'm-
love that.
I would assume that you should.
That
have
is
some
one
type
pet
of
peeve I
customization.
have on the PS4 current UI. Is that it only puts the most recent games you've played to the front, and then it just pushes them back as you play new games.
Right, you don't have any favorites, but I do know
Yeah.
in the UI for the Xbox, you actually have like your favorites list. So like if I use Twitch a lot, I can put that up there.
I wish
If I have
that
my
that
2
is one thing
games,
I
can
do
put
wish
those
the
there.
PlayStation 4 had.
Yeah.
Maybe the PlayStation 5 will have it. But I mean, I guess talking about functionality, what are some of the new functionalities that you guys liked, Mark Ray?
So just to start with the whole card system.
Yeah.
I like that the cards directly correlate with your gameplay, what you're doing. For example, like when we were seeing that Sackboy, when you click the cards, there's a particular objective, and it kind of had a checklist of what he needed to do to get to that objective, and it also gave a time increment. You know, it said this will take you approximately 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
was
kinda,
cool.
It's kind of cool. Like if you're on a time crunch, all right, I want to do the next mission, or I want to get one more trophy. It's kind of cool that you have something to reference. You know, it's like, all right, I have an hour. Oh, I could do these two, 3 items. So I really like that organization. The one thing I didn't like is they required PlayStation Plus to kind of get some of those checklists.
In those
Did
little videos.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
for those checklists, it gives you help on how to do it. So like, let's say there's a particular mission you're trying to do. It'll like walk you through with a little like video
For trophies only, though. For trophy hunting.
for a little objective.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool.
it's very handy because let's face it, if we're trying to do something, we would be searching on Google, you know, because I know that's what I
YouTube, bro.
for stuff I can't figure
Yeah.
out. It's like, all right, let me go watch this guide real quick. Okay, you know, back and forth. But now I could just do it on my PlayStation. So that's really handy. I think that should just be a free feature. But let's face it. I mean, if you have a PlayStation, you're gonna have PlayStation Plus, so it's not too big of a deal. They're just trying to add value, but I think that should just be a feature of the console natively.
Right.
It seems like it would just be like a staple, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it just seems like something that, you know, but I love that. And the second thing that I really liked was, we touched on this a few minutes ago, was the friends feature. So if I see Sir Knight is playing, you know, Call of Duty, I could just join his lobby and straight boom, it launches the game, puts me in his group, and that's, you know, so convenient.
Right.
Because now, you know, I'd have to join his party. Hey, you know, Sir Knight, what are you playing? Oh, okay, let me launch the game. Let me do this. Let me do that. But I can just join your party straight out of the gates.
Yeah.
It gets the game fired up. And
Yeah.
that's, you know, that's really handy when you're playing with your friends.
Yeah, I liked how you could just even watch them play.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
like,
the
just
picture in
off of
picture,
the
that was
card.
one of the coolest features to me.
Yeah,
So those,
Because it was smooth.
right.
so those are two features that I really liked. And I like the general speed.
Mhm.
You're going from the menu to the home screen and back so snappy. It seemed seamless. It didn't seem like a chore.
Mhm.
It seemed like, you know, it was very practical, very easy to use. So overall, those are the two features that I really liked, and I was really impressed. So what about you? Sam?
Yeah, so okay. The card system is a whole new system.
You're gonna have
That's
to
a
get used to
whole new thing, right? That does not exist in the current PS4 UI, right? So this is a completely new addition. This is the pre-screen before the home screen that I was talking about when we were talking about how it looks. That makes it a little bit more obtrusive to navigate. The question is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is this additional screen worth it? And I think yes and no. I think for people who really love trophy hunting, this is dope. It gives you a really quick view of what trophies that you haven't earned or how close you are to completing certain trophies, like a percentage. Like you have so many of these photos collected in this game. You have 40% of them. Maybe give you like an idea of like how close am I to finishing this trophy? Do I want to work on it or not? And then the little guide videos for the PS Plus users was really neat. However, I don't think, okay, they're trying to prevent you from having, like you said, pause the game, hop onto my phone, go onto Google, you know, or go to my computer and find that whatever I'm looking for. For one, this isn't going to be on most games. I think it's going to be very few games. It's going to be games, first of all, first-party games.
It's
probably.
yeah, it's definitely.
It's not going to be. Yeah, it's not
games,
going to be third-party games. You're not going to get little videos for Valhalla, because the other platforms don't have that. This is only something that's on PlayStation.
But I mean, you might.
And it's someone sitting in front of the computer making these videos. There's some dude out there making these little 20-second. Someone's making these. These aren't just like pre-made by a computer system and thrown into the game. Like I don't know where the incentive is really for why a studio, even a first-party studio, would want to take the time to map out every single one of their little trophy grabs. I don't see where the incentive is for that. So this is not, unless this is required by Sony, I don't see a lot of developers even taking the time to use this. As much as I like it, as much of a good idea as it is, I see it kind of like starting off strong and then petering out to where we're not going to have it any longer.
I could do you one better, man. I see it not even being developers. I see it being all community based. Because if you look at how many people are on YouTube just constantly posting little 1-minute clips or whatever showing you how to get to this place, how to do this, how to go there. If they're able to just screen capture it on their PS5 and then post it with like the title for this, and then it's able to get linked to that section of the game if they have
that's not how it works right now. I mean, that's a great idea. That's not how it works right now. Like, it's just
exactly how it works.
Yeah, it's not. This wasn't put in there by the community. There is no community currently.
No, I'm saying like do you know if it's like if there's a way that we as the community can be attached
They didn't tell us. They didn't show that.
Yeah.
it just seemed like it was something embedded into the game system, the current game system, right?
Mhm.
So someone did that. Someone made that trophy.
I think because it does require PlayStation Plus, I think it's safe to say that they probably did
And that
provide it
too.
to us. But that'd be cool if there's a free version. Like if you don't have PlayStation Plus, watch the community one. That would be cool.
I think that's a great idea what you're saying. I don't think that's how it functions currently in its current state.
Mhm.
For one, someone made that video who's not part of the community, right? So clearly, because it's not even the community doesn't have access to this game yet. So that was done by the developer. The developer made that little video,
Or a tester.
or whoever has access to the game.
Yeah.
The development team, whatever team member of that development team, made that little video clip. And there's hundreds of those little video clips someone would have to make now. So the team would have to dedicate someone to doing that. And so that's my concern. I don't see it being used very often. And when it does get used, I see it only being used by first-party games. So for me, I don't know if I'll eventually get annoyed. Like, I tend to see like the cards end up becoming something that aren't as useful as they're looking now, and they end up just becoming a nuisance and getting in the way of me trying to get to my next game, me trying to get to my next thing. That's what I see potentially happening with this card system. So I'm not sure if the value is there yet for it, while I do like a lot of the things about it. But the things I loved about the UI, super fast, super snappy, like Mark Reyes said. I can't believe how fast it is. That's one thing that annoys me about the current PS4. Have you ever felt that, right? You're playing a game and you press the home screen button and you're like waiting, come on, and like it like glitches out to the home screen, and then it's kind of like still glitching a bit, and then you can kind of start moving and it's slow, and then slowly it catches up and you're moving normal again, right? Like that seems like that's gone, and I hope that's gone forever. Probably because this thing is so fast. Yeah, it better be gone forever. Hopefully this is like a seamless, fast, smooth situation. And also being able to watch your homies play while you're playing a different game. Like that's always been one of my nuisances, like Godly Sorrow wants to play one game, I want to play a different game, and we kind of can't really incorporate what we want to play together. And now we can. Like I can have you playing, whatever you're playing in the corner, and you can like, oh, check this out. And I could pause or whatever. I could just like watch you playing, and like, we can have a laugh about it or talk about it, like in game. How dope is that? Yeah. That's a super cool feature.
Yeah, I thought that that was really dope as well. I felt more of like how back in the day when we'd be playing like Uncharted or something like that, and then we would come across something that was like hidden, or it was like or a part of a game that's just like really, really hard to get past, and you're just like, how do I get over there? And then like me trying to explain it to you, you know what I mean, or telling you to just go watch a video or something, like I can just as easily like, oh yeah, pull it up and then just show you exactly what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And you can sit there and follow the same steps that I did
100%.
or whatever, or just, like if you come across something that's like awesome, like a view or something that's like weird as hell that you came across, like in Red Dead Redemption 2 or something, you could just, hey, yo, check this out, man. This is nuts. Like,
or like if you're like, let's say we're playing the same game, like you're playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, but we're at two different parts of the story.
Yeah. And
I'm like, dude, Stone, I cannot find this darn thing. You can pause your game and watch my screen and say, oh, no, but actually it's to the left. You're right there. Go to the left. And you can like guide me through it as I'm playing.
Just imagine multiplayer, man. Like just being able to put your friend who's playing in the same multiplayer game as
it's
you,
like split screen and over the internet.
Yeah. And then like there's some going down over here. You know what I mean? Like you can run over there to that side and you know exactly kind of where they were at. You know what I mean? Like you could say, oh, I got shot over here on this side or whatever. But like you could probably have seen it.
Yeah. No, this is
on
super
the kill
cool.
cam or whatever. So I definitely like the way the card system and stuff like that was popping into the fact that you could take a quick glance at your friends on their playlist and see what they're doing and stuff. Doing all that. As far as like the cards being an issue with like navigating or maybe becoming a nuisance later, it could be possible. It could be that there's just like so many features that just
That's
become
what I'm
like it's
about.
so much information.
Right.
Like I didn't need all of this.
Right.
Like, but maybe like I kind of like I had stated earlier. I feel like it could kind of be like Amazon Prime, where where you click something and then you just have like a whole slew of information that you do not even want. like you were just trying to
Mhm.
like go back like 2 seconds, but like I've got all this IMDb stuff, all this, you know what I mean? Like I was just trying to like pop and check on a friend, but I've got like 30
Right.
cards in my face or whatever. So it could be, you know, a possible issue, but I feel like hopefully that they
They keep
allow you to do
supporting
some
it.
type of customization. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you can
That's a good point.
customize how many cards you want to pop up
For
on
sure.
your screen when
Mhm.
you hit the PS button.
Like, don't show me
Or-
trophy cards.
Just
Like,
show
just
me
show me my
friends,
friend
yeah.
cards.
yeah, if you don't want that, or
yeah, if you can
whatever.
do that,
That'd be
yeah.
nice.
But I also feel like for me, I'm not really a big trophy chaser.
Right.
If I get them, it's like, oh, okay,
Right.
cool, I got it.
Right.
But like that's also because I don't go into the game and look at all the list of trophies they have and be like, oh, I haven't done that yet. Let me try this or whatever. But I feel like if you did have like a small glimpse, like a card that pops up right before you're going into the game, that you could just look at and see like, oh, I'm like 96%
Right.
on this. Like,
Right.
oh, I might just try to finish that off.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It might give you like an incentive to try to achieve a trophy or two that you might not have even tried for because you see how close you are.
That's
to
a good
it.
point.
So it could be a reason to get people to try to play
Right.
the game
Trophies.
more, just
For
to, like, because they
trophies,
already
yeah.
see they're close. So it's like might
Mhm.
as well just like try to finish it off. You know? Oh, I'm like 50%.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like 60% through the game. Like, oh, let me try to like make sure I look out for these or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know?
Yeah, I see that. You know,
Yeah.
but I do agree. Like, I don't think a lot of people are trophy hunters. I just don't think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Some are. I like getting trophies, but I'm not like a trophy hunter. And it really depends on the game. Like, if the game is something I really love, then I'll pull out, you know, of the game screen and go to my trophy screen and check my list and see, are these doable? Like, is this something I can attain and achieve? And then I'll decide. But a lot of the games I just want, like you, I just want to play through it and just enjoy it. So I just can see an obtruseness to it that I don't know if it's going to be annoying or not. But dude, man, the picture-in-picture playing is super cool.
Yeah, one thing that I like that they showed as well is when they joined a multiplayer lobby on the video, they took a screenshot and they're really quickly able to like integrate with Twitter and post it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't show us like
Mhm.
Twitch and Facebook, and YouTube. But I'm
assume.
assuming that
It'll be
all
the
of these
same.
integrations are going to be really easy. You
Yeah.
know, like, hey, I want to just broadcast on Twitch. Click a button. Hey, I want to, you know, make a
hope so, man.
Yeah,
YouTube video.
I
Click a
feel
button.
like they have to put like a whole bunch of incentive, right, to get people to try to capture more stuff through their PlayStation as opposed to using like
capture
an
card,
Elgato or
PC,
something
yeah.
like
Right.
that to capture it to their PC. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, hopefully, you know, we haven't seen much about the HD camera for like the PS5, but
Mhm.
hopefully it's like really nice so that it makes you just want to do everything from that one console. You know, because
Right.
like I like to stream, but you know, I haven't purchased an Elgato, you know, or anything like that to be able to stream it on my PC
Right.
and use like a nice camera to
Mhm.
be able to catch me. So if I could do all of that from just one place, it makes it easier to
Mhm.
stream and to do all that stuff. So it just makes it easier for me.
Let me ask you this, just a little side thing. They showed us gameplay of Sackboy Adventure, right? But
Mhm.
they didn't show us any gameplay of Destruction All Stars. Wasn't that weird? They actually launched Destruction All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a great opportunity to finally show us some gameplay of that stupid
Yeah.
game, and they didn't.
The guy said he didn't have time.
The
Like,
guy
Yeah.
said he didn't
he's
have
like, hey,
time.
we don't have time to show
Dude,
you.
Well,
is this
alright,
game
so-
crappy and they're trying to hide it?
I don't know because
It's
like,
$70 game.
but
It's a $70 game.
But Sackboy is just like a regular game, right? One person, you know, one player. It could be multiplayer or whatever, but it's just the game there. But you know, for Destruction All Stars, it has to be multiplayer. It's not just single player. So, you know, I mean, I guess you could just go into it, but you'd have to dip out of the match and potentially shaft the other players that you're
Yeah.
the thing with. So maybe you didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but if you're really trying to
don't
sell
know.
this game, I don't know. That's just a little thought I had as I was watching. Like,
Why
they didn't
didn't you
even
show
show us
that?
any game. They should
Like,
like to show us
this
gameplay
ain't
of
the time yet.
Sackboy because Sackboy looked cool.
Yeah.
But then they
Sackboy
show
did
us
look dope.
Destruction All Stars. And they don't even bother showing us gameplay on
Yeah,
that.
Sackboy really did look pretty
It
dope.
looked
man.
cool,
I was
man.
like,
It looked
okay.
fun. I like Mario.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
reminded me of Mario.
Just
Like, this was
PlayStation's
cool,
Mario.
man.
Yeah.
And man, it was so crazy how smooth it ran in the background while you had your interface screen up. And it's like, man, like this
Yeah.
is such a snappy system. Everything was so fast. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, even about the picture in picture, like the hardest thing about, dude, we tried. me and you tried. There'd be like a game. We were playing some games and like you couldn't do something, so you try to do screen share, right?
It was
And
play.
I
It was
join
play
you.
share. Remember?
Oh, it was
It was
play share or
like whatever
whatever.
it is called.
Yeah,
Like where
share
you can
play or
take over
something.
my
Yeah,
controller.
yes. And it was like grainy and ugly looking and glitchy, and sometimes it wouldn't even work.
Yeah, it's like trying to use the remote play right now.
Yeah,
For the
and it
PS4.
was like very difficult. It was a good idea, but very difficult to function. So why it's just as obtrusive for me to do that than to just pull my phone out and search up a video, right? You know, to find out how to do whatever I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Now if it was so buttery smooth that I can't even believe it.
At least we hope.
You just pull it out and then you just moved it around your screen to like put it in an area you want, or you can expand it and look at, you know, the full thing.
Right.
Like, man, that's cool. I'm super excited for that, you know, like really, really pumped for that feature.
Yeah. Speaking of fast, this is kind of like another side note, but did you guys see the transition in Miles Morales from like inside of like a building to outside a building? Like how smooth it was? It was
Nah, I didn't catch
it. Was
it.
literally no load, no
Oh my
nothing.
gosh,
like
that's
you know how
crazy.
like Peter Parker would like climb up on the rooftop and then he would go into the building where he does his internship and then it would
Yes.
start like
Yes.
or you know like in order to go into the building to check something out, you know, it's like a load screen and you gotta wait. Like he literally shot through like a window from inside of a building right out, start web slinging, like smooth transition, like everything was loaded already.
Yeah,
Looked
I'm hearing
nice.
a lot of good things of the load times for this PS5. You know, like really, really crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. The more and more I see about the PS5, the more and more like I'm dead set on getting it.
Yeah.
In so
I
many
mean,
ways,
I've been dead set on
yeah,
getting it, but
I'm
it
more
just-
and more dead
just
set.
makes
Like
the pie
it's you know motivating me to do some crazy things to get it. You know, like camp out at night or something.
like mug somebody, right? Right? Like, I want to catch you slipping outside.
Like
Like,
somebody.
oh, that's the PS5. I bet. Let me see where you headed.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
No,
No.
but yeah, was that like everything that we had spotted as far as the PS5
think
UI was
so.
concerned? Because I don't think I saw too much else that was on there.
No.
So one thing that I did want to talk about, and I felt this was like a major, was this new PlayStation update. I think
Oh,
it's
man.
8.0
Yeah,
or something
8.0.
like
No.
that.
Yep.
You know, I caught wind of it because, of course, you know, I was on Twitter and all of a sudden, like, PS5 update is like trending. I'm like, that's weird.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me click this. Let me see what's going on. So I look at it, and people, there's like tons of memes of like, you know, people getting arrested, and it's like me after a conversation in my PlayStation chat with the boys or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
so I look further into it, and so it looks like within this new update that has come, essentially our conversations, our voice conversations, our voice chats are all being recorded and can be monitored at any point in time, or at least can be sent to a PlayStation moderator.
Sony clarified it though,
look.
right? Did you hear Sony clarification on that?
As far as I know, it just says that they're not like listening all the time, but I mean, every conversation is recorded.
Supposedly it's not.
It's not.
Supposedly that's a disclaimer to let you know that other people could be recording you in your party. So like if you
Okay.
join a party with a group of people,
broadcasting
yeah, they could be
information.
broadcasting or recording you live. So they're like reminding you. That's Sony's explanation.
All right,
Sony's
so
explanation
are
is that they're not listening to you and they're not recording you. That was Sony's clarification.
okay, so you're saying that because I was hearing that like if somebody was doing like racial slurs, throwing racial slurs at me or
Mhm.
something like that, I could easily report them from the conversation, and that conversation would be sent to them so they could hear everything and then proceed however they're gonna proceed.
Yeah, I
But
think it
you're
has to
telling me
be
that's
like
not it.
activated like that. I don't think they're just storing everyone's conversations all over the planet all the time. It's more like a disclaimer letting you know. That's their clarification.
Yeah, I would have to look into that because
Yeah.
I would assume that if there was something like that where it was like an initiation, it would
Mhm.
be similar to the share button where it's gonna backlog what you've done for like the last 5 minutes and then show that. So like it would have your recordings, your voice, and it would capture like, oh, because if somebody starts throwing stuff at you, they may have stopped by the time you click the like, oh, let me record this, so I can get this douchebag out of here. Like it, it would you would want it to backlog. Okay, what was the craziest thing they said, within the last 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But I think that's interesting. It's kind of like, okay, I don't really want to be recorded. I feel like there's so many other ways that you can get around that. Maybe not in game, if you're like in the in-game chat, maybe that's something that you can or cannot avoid. I mean, you can obviously mute them so that you don't
I
hear
do
them at
know
all,
I
and then
do
you can
know
report them in
that
games, but
you make parties now, and they're like preset
that was
parties.
one of their big changes.
And any text chatting you did with those people. So let's say you three and I were part of a text chat. We were talking about a game or something, and that the system has always kept that as a running tally text chat.
Right.
Let's say we have a dude, like let's say the one dude we were playing. What was that Monster Hunter game like that we were playing? That Monster Hunter game, Dauntless. That dude joined us and was helping us.
Yeah.
If he joined our party, he would now get access to all of our text chat. He would become part of it.
He would
and
become
he could
the
see it all.
backlog.
Yeah, he becomes part of it now, and now he sees everything we ever texted to each other.
Okay.
Now that is real, and that's where like, yeah, it's kind of like that's like a pseudo recording. It's a text recording, but that is actually something that is there. I don't know if they'll patch that or if they're planning on patching, or if they made that. I don't know if they've made comments on yet. I just know that they've addressed and made comments on the voice recording aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look more into.
Look more into the voice recording aspect and what they said.
Yeah.
But they claim that they aren't listening and recording every conversation all the time. It was more of a disclaimer letting you know that you could be recorded, that, be aware of that. And it's part of the, terms of service if you want to use this feature, right? Like just kind of like along those lines.
Play my system.
So.
Yeah. Also, going back to the group chatting, they changed the way that will work. So essentially, you would initiate a group chat, and you have to invite everybody who you would possibly want to invite into this group chat, and then the group chat is created, and then the only people that can join that are the people who were initially invited. At any point in time, that's like the main group chat. So,
right.
We would have like a WLG group chat, and we would probably invite like everybody, or else we would have to start an entirely new group chat to be able to invite that one person that we met, while playing a mission or a level or something like that to join
Now,
us.
do we just join that chat? Like, let's say, hey, we're playing tonight. Do we all just go and join the
right
chat?
back into that chat. Yeah.
So you don't
It's
create
like a
anything
tally
new.
Of chats that are already just
That's
there,
cool.
and you would just hop right back in.
That's convenient in a way.
In some ways.
In
but
some ways,
the fact
yes.
that like if you encounter somebody new,
yeah, it's
they can't just
obtrusive.
join
It's
it.
obtrusive to new. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I hope that they fix that, because
That's a problem
I
for a
used to-
lot of people. That's not a problem for me. Like,
Right.
I don't do a whole lot of multiplayer anyways, but I can see that being like a huge problem for a lot of people who are playing with randoms all the time.
It's not friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not conducive
it's-
to
well,
making friends. Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Like, it's only like your tight knit.
Especially too with the texting stuff.
Mhm.
Like, why would I want to invite a rando to our group and he gets to see everything we've ever talked about? Like, it discourages you from wanting to
Technically-
ever meet anyone new.
Technically, you wouldn't be able to. You'd have to start a whole new group and then join in on that, and then
Right.
invite him in. So he wouldn't. He
Right.
probably wouldn't have access to your stuff. But yeah, if somebody was like shit talking one of the friends or whatever that had been in the group at some point, it's all logged in there.
Right.
So you just definitely gotta watch what you're saying in there if you weren't before. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and then also they changed the way like blocking works. So like essentially before you could like block somebody and they couldn't join in your chat. So like if you had like the WLG chat group and we had like 6 people in, but like one person that we had invited was talking like crazy or something like that. So we tried to block boy. He could still come back into the chat and like see everything, like talk or
Right.
whatever. It's just that you might not be able to hear him, but he could still converse.
Yeah,
with
that was the
everybody
mute. The
else.
mute thing. The mute. Yeah, there's something with the mute.
It was it was the blocking. Like you couldn't fully block somebody. Like,
There was a problem with the mute too. What kind of like what you're saying, like
Yeah.
when you press the mute, like they can't no longer talk, but they can still hear you for some reason or something along those lines.
Yeah, there was something
Right?
weird with it, but yeah, it just seems like they were doing like weird changes that was kind of like a block should work like a block. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to have access to anything that I have
Yeah.
access to if you've been blocked and I'm the person in charge of this chat. You know what I mean? Like you've been blocked, bro. Like you can't get in. You gotta message everybody singularly in order to
Right.
do that. I mean, I don't got like a big ass block list or anything like that.
Right.
I'm not blocking people in general, but it's just kind of weird, you know,
Yeah.
that they would change that. You know, it seems like it's no longer a block. It's just like a silence, you know, like a silence mode or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but definitely people were in an uproar about the voice recording in the chats and
Yes.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, and that definitely
Yeah.
sounds intrusive, you know.
Oh yeah.
'Cause if anything,
Yeah.
and if anything was happening or whatever, you know, if I heard somebody was talking to me crazy, I just kick them out of the chat.
Right.
Like, there's
Yeah.
no reason I need a voice recorder. I
Right.
mean, if you've ever had anybody saying anything foul to you, you can easily click their name and
I've
put a
never
report
even
out
really
for them.
wanted to even do. It's like what you're saying. If someone's being a dip, shiz or whatever, I just kick them out, and I don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I don't think about going, oh, I need to send this guy, to Sony headquarters and get him
Yeah,
expelled
like
from the
I just get away.
PSN.
Like,
I just get away from me.
they're
Yeah,
trolling
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
I'm
that's
not-
how I've always felt too.
Yeah.
So it is weird. It was a totally weird thing.
Yeah, I think the only time I've reported people was like those spammers. that
Oh,
be
yeah.
spamming like the most ridiculous shit in there. Like,
Mhm.
don't message me, spam the shit
Yeah.
out of you. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they take a look at all the complaints and try to adjust the update. Maybe come out with like an 8.1 that isn't
Fixes
so
it.
intrusive or whatnot.
Yeah.
but-
Did you guys see that they kind of killed communities in 8.0?
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, what
So,
they did.
Yeah.
so previously you can create communities based on games, based on viewpoints,
hmm
but now you can't create any new communities.
Okay.
So like let's say I want to create a Smite, SoCal Smite group or something like that.
Yeah.
Now you could only join committees that already existed,
Mm.
but you can't create any new.
So are these communities created by people from the communities, and it's just like, okay, what's here has already been established, it's gonna
Yeah.
stay, no new ones? Or is it something that they created? Like they created like a Smite, California, Chicago.
Yeah. So
whatever,
I'm not
you know?
exactly sure I'm not sure on who created it. I just know that there's no new ones,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people are upset about that.
So no new cyberpunk community, huh?
I guess not.
That's crazy, right? Only
Unless
existing
the
communities. How
developers
stupid.
come out with like
Yeah,
a small.
so
community
they're
or
they're saying it
something.
has
Yeah.
to do with compatibility from PS4 to PS5 because there's gonna be some sort of
It's the cards, man. The cards are
Yeah.
gonna change the way communities
We're
work
gonna
or
have to-
something.
It
probably.
might be, dude. Like honestly,
Probably.
that's a big change. The card system.
so I heard there's some outcry from the communities. I personally I never used a community on
Same.
the PlayStation, so I don't know much about it, but I know there's a lot of outcry on that. So hopefully they can get that fixed, or if it's something that they're just gonna retire, we'll see what's gonna be the new replacement. Because I know on the Xbox there's a lot of communities for all sorts of things, so it seems like a natural thing that should be in
course.
a gaming
of course.
world.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they have a new vision.
I mean,
they're
I
gonna reinvent
primarily
it.
go to the Reddits, but
Yeah, of course.
that's what I usually do.
Or in
But yeah, for
Discords
sure, it's a
or-
natural thing.
So we'll see. Maybe they're re-envisioning it. Maybe they're recreating a new,
With the cards.
a new
But
system.
I could totally see like a card that's like the community that you normally visit for like a specific game or something like that. Like it's like related. Your community tab is like related to the game you're playing, and then you being able to like pull that up maybe like in like a small window and be able to see like the chat in the community
Yeah.
towards the game you're in. I could see that being on there, and maybe that's why like they're trying to differentiate it, and change it now.
Yeah.
But
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with communities. But I haven't.
A lot of these things aren't a big deal to us, right? I feel like a
The
lot of these
things we-
changes. Yeah, like I
things
know,
we
like
don't use.
like you hear it goes, oh, that's convenient, but a lot of people are like really complaining about some of these things, man.
yeah,
But
it's hard to tell if people are like complaining just to complain,
or just because it's
or
a
if they
change, we
really
just don't
care.
like change, like,
Yeah.
and so people
Yeah.
complain about any change at all. It's a natural instinct for us. Oh my gosh, this has been changed, and we just have you seen the changes? We're just
Yeah.
keyboard warriors.
yeah, kind of like the Spider-Man change. For
Yeah,
PS1 to PS5.
exactly. Like I was like, that's
Like,
fine for me, but
yeah.
people don't like change, man, for some reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
But yeah, so on to some Xbox news. Basically, we heard that GameStop and Microsoft have like a nice little deal going. I mean, we knew like a week or two ago
A
that
partnership.
Microsoft had purchased like what was it, like 10% of GameStop or something of that nature, to kind of help them from dying because this COVID is just killing them. And then
And
you
digital's
look at
killing
everything,
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything with this new generation with the digital consoles and stuff, they're gonna be floating in the water dead. But
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in time Microsoft just buys out the GameStops. I mean, those are all already brick and mortar stores, thousands of them across the country. It'd be worth it. But anyways,
yeah, I mean, like as far as like brick and mortar is concerned, like I know there's no Sony PlayStation brick and mortar store,
no.
but I do know that
There's
they
some
have
Sony.
Microsoft
There's some
stores,
Sony outlets,
but there's no Xbox stores.
No.
You know what I mean? So most of the time, like you could probably pick up a game system at one of those Microsoft stores, but they're just there for like the Surface tablets
right.
and all the other Microsoft stuff. But yeah, so I mean, Microsoft is essentially like fully backing GameStop, so they're gonna change a lot of things, how like the inside works. Like they'll be working with like Microsoft Surface tablets to help you. They're gonna have like,
which I'm happy about
more,
that.
Yeah, a lot more Microsoft stuff in their store.
I'm hoping this is a good change too, because whenever I go into GameStop, there's a huge long line.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of the people in there are probably like, I just wanted to pre-order this, or I'm here to pick up a
It'd
shipping.
be nice to have like a kiosk or something.
Yeah, or
right?
a kiosk too. Yeah,
that you can quickly do your pre-order with all your stuff.
It'd be nice if you see like a sales rep on the floor stocking the shelf.
Yes.
With the Surface. Hey, I want to buy that game. Oh, let me scan it right here.
That'd be so cool, dude.
That'd be nice.
Because
really convenient.
a lot of stores do. They have these little guns. Target. You go to Target, they have everything on this little handgun. They can tell you stock everything. You go to GameStop, it's a whole mission trying to find something. So. Hopefully it brings them to the 21st century. It makes it easier for the customers, like you're saying. We don't want these long lines just to buy a game when we can buy it on Amazon or any other place, digital and with. No
I can't tell you, man, how like it's happened to me. Where like I buy a game on GameStop and I have it the ship to store because it's free shipping, and so it arrives. I get the email. It arrives. I go to pick it up. And there's like a couple people in front of me, and then one of the dudes in front of me is freaking
trying to have a conversation. Or
not
something.
just that, trying to return 45, Xbox 360 games from 20 years ago and his system for $6. And I got to sit here and wait for her to scan, and I'm just like,
I just wanted to be in and be out.
I literally, my game, I see it like literally, it's paid, like it's right there. Can I just please? Oh, sorry, I'll be with you in a minute. Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, this place is trash, man. So I'm hoping like Microsoft taking the helm, like you're saying, helps.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be a change. Who knows if it'll be like much of an improvement with how they do things now. But I do know that I fear that it's going to be heavy promotion for Xbox stuff, like in the store. Like you're not going to get honest opinions about
because
they don't want to sell it because
the cut, right?
Yeah, they get a nice percentage for every console that they sell that's Xbox related. They get a percentage of the profits that Microsoft makes. So if they manage to sell 100 million copies, they're gonna get a nice chunk of change. And then also from what I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but GameStop also allows you to purchase digital content from there that would normally just be able to be purchased digitally in the Microsoft store. So like you could essentially get, that digital copy of Ori and the Wisp or something like that, even though it's on Game Pass. Like if it was to leave Game Pass, you could buy it digitally at GameStop with like a GameStop gift card. And you don't have to spend any of your real money because like, oh, I have this game, this gift card. Why wouldn't I just go into GameStop and I can buy a digital game? I don't have to, get money, to spend on the Xbox store and stuff like that. And so that's cool, because sometimes you could probably there's probably going to be like some coupons or something like that you could get like a bigger sale than you would see on the actual, Xbox store or the Microsoft store. That you could get in GameStop, and that's cool. But I just feel like if you ask like an employee,
which game?
Hey, what system do you think I could get, man? Because I'm kind of on the fence with the Series X or the PlayStation 5, and I know the PlayStation 5 got like mad, exclusives. but you also got the Game Pass. Like, what do you think? You know what I mean? Oh, well, I think that Xbox, because of the Game Pass, like, you gotta buy it, right?
You gotta
Like,
buy it.
who cares about exclusives?
Dude, yeah,
Like,
because
it's
they're
just all
going,
these games. For
they're
free.
gonna definitely
Oh,
probably
man.
commission, right? The
It's-
employers are gonna be
yeah.
like incentivized to sell Xbox
They're gonna be
products.
double incentivized, right?
Yeah, dude. So I have a lot of gripes with GameStop over the years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? So my main one was every time you check the store locator, oh, this one has this, physical game,
They don't
Good
even
luck.
be looking for it sometimes.
So I go to the store. Nah, we don't got the new one, but we got this used one that doesn't have cover art. The box is all chewed up. It's all jacked up for $2 less. Do you want to buy that one? No, no, I do not want it. Tell me where I can find a new one. So next, now you go to the store. Nah, we got this chewed up copy, or we can sell you a digital copy. Same thing as a new copy. So that's gonna be
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of digital.
I hated going in and just like, the used game is there and I'm looking for it and it's like this shitty like printout copy
yes,
of the
fake
cover
box.
for it.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
I want
dude.
the actual
I want the
box. Like
real
I
Just
don't
the
want
text
this
on
like
the
secondary
Halo
joint.
2.
Yeah,
It's
I hate
like,
that.
This
I'm
is
sitting here
garbage,
searching
dude.
for the actual cover
This
art.
is
Like, come on, give me
garbage.
that.
I hate that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what I would have to do is because I would do like the 2 for 3, get 2 games, get a third one free.
Yeah.
And then they would tell you, oh no, take this box. You could go to any other GameStop and swap out, the cover art. And then
I'd never do that shit.
and I would be hunting for the cover art, going to 5
You
stores,
did that, bro?
I do that.
Wow.
because
and
you
it's a
want
mission. I
the game and it's
And they can't
full-
find it, huh?
It's a struggle. It's very hard to get the original bugs. But anyways, now they're gonna either sell you a chewed up copy with no cover art or sell
pitch
you
you
a
that
digital.
digital version.
So those are, so at least it's a little better. You have an option, but
Yeah.
we already had that option without, now we wasted our gas money and we paid extra for the digital copy.
Yeah.
So that's one gripe I have. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I am happy that they are modernizing. I think that it'll result in the customer getting a better experience for, both people who are PlayStation fans and Xbox fans. So it's a win for everybody. How it affects, their day-to-day,
Operations and stuff.
day-to-day, how it affects their recommendations. I mean, I never personally asked them for recommendations, so it's not going to affect me.
I
You know what I
used to go to the game stores and ask, like, what'd you think about this?
Dude,
game
I
and
see a
stuff
lot
like
of
that. But
people
then I realized
asking,
that
though.
People don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we do this every week. Like, we look at everything. We know we know what we want. Like, and we do the research ourselves because we're gamers.
Yeah.
But there's lots of people
Yeah.
who do.
So that was my only worry is, little Timmy's mom comes in here and asks for recommendation. I want her to, like, get the best recommendation. I don't want her to have to get a recommendation that's affecting their wallet, their metrics, their numbers. That's
Of course,
BS. So
dude. Of course.
hopefully they add a Surface Pro that lets them search Google.com, Metacritic, so the mom can go on the website and do it for herself. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, like, side note, have you guys talked to anybody about a recommendation? Like, you guys recommended something for them when they asked you about a game system or whatever, like for this new next gen one?
Oh,
For the new
I mean, I've made videos like buyer's guides. What I
Mhm.
think. But
But you
why?
never talked to somebody like in person?
Not in
and just, like, recommend it?
person.
People have
No.
asked me, what am I going to get? And I tell them both.
Uh-huh.
So I think that kind of fizzles it out.
Right.
Because most people expect you to say one or the other. But, I mean, I would like them both. I want them both, and I'm going to get them both. So I
Yeah.
think that kind of stops that, thing.
That debate.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
they're like, what? You're getting an Xbox? Ah, man, the PlayStation 5, But when you say you're getting both, they're like, oh, cool. Well, are you excited for this? Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I've been asked like a couple of times
What's your
by some of
general
my family
response?
members and friends, like, what are they, what do I think, they should get or whatever, like which one's better. And I've recommended the Xbox a little bit more than I have the PS5, and only for the reason because like those people are getting it for their kids, and their kids are kind of young or whatever. And, I'm just like, okay, well, if they really only play like one game, like Fortnite, like why would you go and get a PS5? You know what I mean? Where you have to buy like all of these games, like just get them an Xbox, you know what I mean? And if you're willing to pay for the Game Pass, they have like a whole bunch of games. You don't have to buy anything really. Like they're going to play Fortnite and then they'll play whatever else is on Game Pass, and then, and they'll have fun. And you just spend the, the $50 a year or something like that, and you're golden. Maybe every now and again
You'll
you
never
gotta
have to
another
buy.
game,
Take them
but-
to GameStop to buy anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy. But if they're like really into games and they really like to play a lot of games, then you might want to get, you know, that PlayStation 5 just for their
Mhm.
exclusives. But again, if they're just like the majority of kids in my family, like damn near all my nephews, they'll play a game for like 5 minutes and then they're trying to play a different game. Like they want to play my whole damn library while they're at my house. And it's like, dude, I don't want to be swapping games out like every 5. Just play this one.
Mhm.
Like you didn't even enjoy it long enough. You know what I mean? Like my nephew was over here like 2 weeks ago, and he was playing like Spellbreaker, and then he would hop from Spellbreaker to Fall Guys. He would play Fall Guys for a minute, then he would go hop on Lego's Adventures, and then he'd be back on Spellbreaker to play Spellbreaker some more. He would get frustrated or play like one mission or something like that, one round, and then he would go back to Fall Guys. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just spend like an hour or two in Fall Guys and like keep getting better at Fall Guys, or go to. But he like swaps back so
So
much.
it's like channel surfing, but for games. He's just like,
Exactly.
Dude, that's a
And-
whole new way of playing games.
And if
when
it
we were
was-
young, we played one game.
Couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
that's
hours.
it. You got that one
Yeah.
game and you drill like 20 hours solid into that one game.
Yeah.
And for you to pull that game out was like, oh, you must be done with it then.
Completely
like, I never
done,
took
though.
a game
Like,
out of my console
completely
until I
done.
was like done with it. Yeah, it just stayed in there. So
Yeah.
it's just weird to see them go through like so many games within a short time period. It kind of like, I get offended for the developers. Like, bro, you didn't even play my game long enough to like switch to another
It's that
one.
attention
Like, give it some
deficit,
time,
man.
you
It's
know?
that new age attention deficit, dude.
Yeah, so it's just funny, but like for something like that, like I Game Pass for you. Play all the different games you want. You know what I mean? Especially with this what do they call it?
Talking about xCloud?
Yeah, no, like the fast play or
Oh,
whatever.
Oh, the quick play, the
yeah,
quick
yeah,
swap?
the quick
Yeah,
play, yeah,
yeah.
the quick stop. Yeah, like you could Game Pass all of those games and then just quick swap between all of them
Yeah.
and play as
Mhm.
much as you want on there. I don't know how fast the transitions are for the PS5 with the different games. It seemed like it was pretty quick to go from Sackboy to Destruction All Stars. So it's probably nice and quick. I don't know. I just don't know. Did they show him going back to Sackboy after he left to go into Destruction All Stars? I can't remember.
I don't think they went back to Sackboy after Destruction. They ended it.
Okay, yeah. So I would have to see like how it is, like if the processor, the RAM or whatever the memory is able to handle
Yeah. It
going
would.
back to another
be
game.
fine.
Hopefully it just keeps you where you're at, paused you,
Right.
and you go back in and start playing again. That'd be nice. But I literally think that's for like all the people with like a low attention span, like all of this like quick swap
The
and all
new
that
age.
stuff. Yeah, that's
It's the
for them.
new age attention deficit kids, man.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's
I'm
normal
really
now.
I'm not swapping through too many games
Yeah.
while I play. Like you showing me that you can go from Red Dead to Grand Theft Auto 5 to like another game is like irrelevant to me, dude. I'm not swapping. Like
Mhm.
if I got Miles Morales, I'm playing Miles
Yeah, that's an
Morales.
interesting
You know what
point.
I mean, if I got if I'm on Destiny 2, like I'm on Destiny 2. Like
Mhm.
me quick swapping. Maybe that works if like, if I was playing Destiny 2 and I found out like my father-in-law is on 2K, so like, I'll go hop in 2K real quick, and then like, he's got to go, so I'll go back. But the odds of that happening like every day when I'm playing is zilch. So that's really for like the really young kids.
Yeah.
Totally,
that
it's
play
Maybe
totally-
games.
siblings.
Swap
Siblings wants to play something. When they're done, they'll hand off the controller.
It's
they'll
totally
swap.
channel surfing,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I could. It would work out well. Like if
Yeah,
I'm playing the
for sure.
main a first person game, and then I have company come over, and then they want to play something with me. So like, I'll pause this and I'll go to this multiplayer game. We'll play that. Then they leave, and then I go right back into the other game, and it was no time lost.
You think it would matter if there was load screens? Like, while this is loading, I'll hop on,
Yeah.
or in the blind forest or whatever, and I'll
Yeah.
play that mission till I die, and then I'll swap back. That'd be like channel surfing, like for like with commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just like,
There's no
I'm just
load.
done. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. Yeah, there's no load. What am I swapping for? Like, what reason am I swapping for? I'm getting thrown right back into the game I was playing. So what's the point of this?
Right. So.
But one question I had too, just go back to the GameStop thing, is like, what is the deal with like used consoles? I know when GameStop sells Xbox consoles, the more and more they sell, they get a larger cut of digital sales.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, it's all digital. So DLC, microtransactions,
Anything digital.
purchase the game
Gift
digital.
cards.
anything
Yeah.
digital, they
even
get
if
anything.
even if all you did was purchase the console from GameStop, but you went and purchased like 30 games digitally on the Microsoft Store, they would
You
still
get a
get
cut.
a slice of that.
Yeah.
pie.
So this is probably going to save their company, I think.
Yeah.
But what about used consoles? Do they get a cut if they sell used Xbox consoles? I wonder. And then
Hmm.
how do you keep track of like the ones that you sold that you get a,
Well, I
it's
mean,
Their
weirdly
inventory,
it's
I think
weirdly
it's probably
worded.
like as like a
Chunk of the
company,
total
like
sales,
if
right?
they've sold
Yeah.
like 500 new
Thousand.
copies, and then they've sold like 200 used copies within this month, they would get this percentage, for that month's revenue or whatever that they're
Right.
able to add up to or something. But
It's still never going to be as much as selling a used disc, right? Because they get like 100. They get like a good amount of a
the
used disc.
profits.
Yeah, the profits
Yeah,
on a used disc.
I don't think they'll get like an additional cut from Microsoft. They'll just get their standard normal, flipping fee.
Yeah.
However much profit you make. It just sucks though, because I think all these things just like push them away from having new physical copies. Like the issue you had before when you wanted Ghosts, on day one.
Yes.
available.
Now they really have no motivation to have a physical copy on hand. They're gonna either want to sell you a digital or sell you a used copy.
and you can't
You're
say
right.
that you can't get the game from them, because you can go there and they have the game. It's just this little barcode that you can scratch off, and then you can put in the code in there in your Xbox, and then you have the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you can purchase
Yeah.
it. But we only got 5 physical copies,
Yeah,
and those were all
I know.
pre-ordered. So
So one thing, I don't know if I missed this on the reading. Are they gonna be able to? Can you do the financing in GameStops now?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Yes.
You know.
So that's nice. So you just walk into GameStop now and you can do the.
I wonder if they get a little cut from that too. They're gonna be trying to be like car salesmen.
I
like,
think
"Let's
so.
get you a-"
That would have to count, right? Like that counts as an Xbox sold,
yeah,
even if you
So,
do, the
financing.
finance option. It has to count.
well, yeah, and that was like the biggest thing too, right? Is that you would be able to walk into that brick and mortar GameStop.
You could
and
do
then
that now.
Get your
Yeah,
Xbox
that's
All
definitely
Access.
part of
So,
the agreement.
yeah.
But what's funny is like this agreement, this was all in the original agreement they had like a couple weeks ago, and people just recently found the whole they get a cut of all digital sales recently, because it was like a very small paragraph in the whole agreement, and someone
Yeah.
found it, and then they, oh wow, let's ask about this, and like they confirmed it. Yes, we do
Yeah.
get a small percentage cut, which is crazy. I mean, that's good. I mean, I agree. Like this one guy I was listening to was saying like we all complain about GameStop, but trust me, you won't be happy when they're gone. Right, like I think I agree with that
Agreed.
notion, and I think it's good that GameStops exist. It's a good thing for gamers. It helps with competition. There is some convenience there. I do go to GameStop occasionally to buy things, like so. I do think that it's good that they stick around. I don't like that we might have to be constantly being pushed peddled Xbox propaganda, but I like having GameStop around. So I'm happy that they're winning here. I hope they do. Hope this helps them.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. It just sucks we have no options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I like to have options. It sucks that our only option is GameStop.
Yeah.
Only
so
option in what exactly? Though?
in a game store, like a brick and mortar
Game
a chain-
store.
a chain.
Okay.
Uh,
Yo, whatever happened to EB Games?
I think they got absorbed. I know internationally they still exist, but they operate under GameStop if I'm not mistaken.
Like-
So they got absorbed by Games.
Dude, like I don't know if it's just you guys, but I've gone into Best Buy and they suck at it.
Games.
Yeah. Like their used games are like poorly priced.
I do not go for used games, dude.
No, I'm just saying like they're trying to compete. I'm
Yeah.
saying that GameStop is like trying to compete with a Best Buy is trying to compete with GameStop, and they are terrible at it. Like it's not even close. Like their selection is poor, their prices are all wonky. Like there's nothing there at all that makes me want to ever shop in a game store at Best Buy. I don't know. It's just a poorly done competitor.
But also, I think that's because it's probably not. It's not advertised that much. You know what I mean? Like in every advertisement that you see of GameStop, they're always talking about trading. Trading games, trading value plus, $10 or whatever. There's always trade to me, give to me. But like you don't really see that in Best Buy. So there's really not that many people trading back to Best Buy, and they
No.
don't have any great incentives for you to trade back to them. So it's like the games that you see are like a game that's like almost 4 or 5 years.
I'm just
old,
agreeing
that's
though with
there.
Mark. Like I wish there was a competitor because that would only make the GameStop experience better. And like the only one I see trying is Best Buy, and they're trying so poorly. It's just shockingly bad.
I believe Amazon has a trade.
They're all so
Somebody
lame,
in
though,
the comments,
compared to
correct me if I'm
GameStop
wrong, but I
system.
believe that Amazon
You
has
know?
like some type of trade system going on.
Anyways,
Can we talk about another GameStop?
yeah.
I just have a question for you guys. Have you guys ever seen that guy Camelot331, that YouTuber?
Nah.
So pretty much he's an ex. Have you seen him?
No.
He's an ex GameStop employee that got fired for illegitimate reasons. And,
Okay.
Illegitimate reason.
and now he makes videos exposing their practices.
Yeah.
And he gets inside information from people at GameStop, so they let him join like the conference calls, and then he like records the conference calls. But have you seen the stuff at GameStop that, like,
No.
dude?
Fill us in, man.
So they are. I'm just gonna say how I think it is. This is not a fact. This is just my opinion. But they're scammers. So these managers, right?
He said it. The S word. He said
these managers, dude. They're hounding their employees. So I guess they had some special where games were on sale, like 10 or 20% off.
Yeah.
So what the manager was telling him to do was, hey, these games are marked down. So what we're gonna do is you have to give them the disc warranty, like, you know, the disc protection if the disc is broken.
Yeah, they always selling that.
He said, give it to them and tell them it's free right now. But no, it wasn't free. It was just the games were on sale. So he was like hounding his employees. How come you're not selling these disc protections? How come you're not selling these power-ups?
So it's like essentially don't put that the games are on sale, but
just
mark
say
them
it's
like
free
regular
right
price,
now.
and then it's added up.
He's like, this is how you're going to tell it. Hey, right now if you buy a game, the disc protection is practically free. Or using some weird term.
Right.
If you buy the game right now, the disc protection's free for the game.
That's exactly how they sell you on the on their membership card. They tell you, oh, well, if you buy it now, it's practically free.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean? Because you got this money off, you'll get this money off, so you'd essentially be paying for it.
Yeah, so that's
$20.
And then
all right.
So this is like the district manager. So then all the managers are on the call. So
Yeah.
then they're talking like, oh yeah, you know, if there's someone at your store who's not doing it, send them home. They're not working. And keep in mind, this is during COVID times. So they're like, if your employee, they're like record or, you know, hear their pitches. If they're not saying these exact explicit words, send them home. They're not working. And all the managers are like, yeah. If you have someone in your store that's not doing this, send them home. You know, they're not working. They're not working. I'm like, dude, like, really?
That's a bust, man.
And this guy, you know, Camelot331, shout out to him because he exposes, you know, these things because he got fired, and now he had
he's just a disgruntled employee, just going
the thing
hard
is,
up.
like hundreds of people come forward to him and give him dialogues and stuff, and actually GameStop employees accused him of like doing illegal activities. That's why he got fired, and right now he's suing these people for slander, or I forgot the exact word, because, you know,
libel,
defamation of character or something like that.
And this fool's about to like settle, you know, and he has a whole lawyer team. And GameStop, dude, you guys don't operate like this. You know what I mean? If you wanted to get into sales, go sell real estate, go sell cars. You know,
dude, they're desperate, man, for money.
It's like you can't be selling people, you know, games that are on sale and then saying you're getting this for free when it's not for free. You're paying for it. You're paying $3.99. Don't do that. You know.
Yeah.
I don't like those practices because there's a lot of naive people out there. There's a lot of people, you know, who are busy. They don't have time to check the receipt, or, you know, the kid he's gonna buy the game however much it costs. He'll give him the lunch money or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's really disheartening to me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to listen to the words that they're telling me as they're saying
so
it. Because most of the time, like, if they
and go watch
disc protection,
Camelot331 if you want to see like what they're doing, because I feel like the reason why they're doing bad is because of this, not because of other things. I just feel like their culture, you know, is very I don't know what's the correct term, but they have an issue with the culture internally.
Underhanded.
Yeah. I kind of wish that they would.
Yeah, very underhanded.
I wish that they would give more for the actual value of the items that get traded in. Like, a lot of times, you know, like, they get something and they'll give you, like, you know, it might be a game and they give you like $20 or something like that for that game, and the game originally is $60 and they sell it for $54, and it's like, damn, like, they got the 20 that they gave you and then some for that game, and it's just like,
I have no problem with that.
I just don't. I would rather try to like sell it myself.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
But I mean, it's if I don't want to go through that hassle, then
yeah,
I'll go for it. But
exactly,
it makes me definitely not want to like buy like the really huge things like the consoles and stuff like that. Because I know like you gave them $200 for this, this console that you're charging for something for, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's not that great of a deal. I mean, if you want a deal, it's like, oh, $5 off, $10 off, okay, but it's just like, damn, I wish I could get more back for the stuff that I'm giving you and that you're selling hand over fist for.
You definitely pay. You definitely get the convenience fee.
Mm-hmm.
And especially you don't really have much competition, like Sir Knight was saying. I don't even know if Best Buy still takes games in, but I mean they really got the monopoly. So they can. Really
I mean, it's fine. It's choices.
Yeah,
It's our choice. Yeah, people got to make choices. That's what the market is. It's choices.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with choices. I have problems with what Mark is saying though. Like, oh, the warranty's free right now and it's not.
Yeah.
Like flat line.
The deceit.
That's not giving me a choice,
Yeah.
right? Like I have no problem with choices.
Yeah.
Tell me what the warranty costs. Tell me what it gives me. Convince me on the value of it.
Yeah.
Like that's proper market. Like the bottom line is the way markets work is you're always overpaying what something's worth, or else the person who owns the business won't ever make any money, right?
Yeah.
But it's fine if they can convince me the value that I'm getting, right?
Yeah.
Don't just lie to me. Like now that's just, that's straight. I mean, it's like criminal.
Yeah. And then for them to like punish their employees to like
Lie.
go home.
Yeah.
Like what if you're just a stand-up guy? You don't, hey, we have the sale right now. If you get the disc warranty, you're pretty much paying the regular price. So is this something you want to consider? Like paint the picture like you're saying. But don't just like send people home because they don't want to participate in those antics. You know what I mean? I think that's really, especially during times of COVID when money's tight. Like, why are you making your people suffer for falsely, you kind of just that's just bad culture there.
Yeah.
I think that's why GameStop is in trouble. So hopefully Microsoft, if you're getting involved, like, I trust what you guys do. Hopefully you can kind of fix this. Maybe these kiosk machines, we can just go in and just mess with machines. Oh, I'm here to pick up a game. Boom, it opens a lockbox.
Right.
Maybe you guys could use technology to turn that around and
Right.
help make it quicker.
That's what I'm hoping, man. I don't get, like you said, people like us aren't really getting scammed like that. I know when I've gone to GameStop, I've been very deliberate for the reason why I went in. I saw some great deals, some buy two, get one free.
You're in and you're out.
Yeah,
You
and
came
I'm
for a
taking
purpose.
advantage of whatever they're offering me. And I've never felt like I've ever been scammed because, I listen in. I listen to what they're telling me. I already know the background of all this stuff. I already know what things are worth, So it's like I'm not getting scammed because I've done my homework. But there are a lot of people, a lot of people, like it's shocking. Like,
A lot of moms.
like I remember, this is kind of a side topic, but like I would go into like Superstar Video. That's a DVD rental place.
I know where Superstar is.
Stone knows. Godly Sovereign knows. They don't exist anymore. They went out of business too.
Yeah, I saw that. They were kind of
which is pretty sucky because I used to still go in there, and I would primarily buy Blu-rays. I'd rent Blu-rays, and they would always ask me, these are Blu-rays, right? I would go, yeah. I grabbed them. You'd be surprised how many people grab these movies, go
Thinking that
home,
they're
and they don't have.
regular
Yeah,
DVD?
they don't have a Blu-ray player. I'm just like, dude, like there are that many people still, for one, on a DVD player, and for two, don't know the difference
paying
between a
attention.
DVD and a Blu-ray. Like, I would say it's the majority of people, not like a lot. Like the majority of people are naive about a lot of things when it comes to like tech.
Mhm.
And like games, totally. Like little Timmy's mom, like that's the normal. That's not the rare or occasional. Like the majority of people going in there don't have a clue, about anything, about warranties, about the value of these games, about what they cost. No clue. They just don't know.
Yeah.
And they take advantage, man. Take advantage.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right, so I'm a little confused. Okay, so
All right.
you gotta break this down to me. All right, so people are saying that essentially the Xbox Series S is reducing games to like 900p, like not even 1080p.
Sub HD, yeah.
Okay, so like explain a little bit on that. Like what have you been hearing?
Okay, so like recently that we're finally starting to get some performance information on the Xbox Series S, and one of the more recent ones we got was this new game Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is a current gen game. Right, this is not a next gen game; it's just a normal current gen game, And on the next gen console, Series S, in order to get 60 frames per second, you had to drop it to 900p, which is sub even just normal full HD,
Right.
which is nuts. That's crazy to me, right? That's going way back in time to 720p areas, right? In order to get 60 frames per second.
Right.
You could get 1080p and better and 1440p if you went to 30 frames per second. The problem here,
and that's not even 4K.
and that's the Series S can't do 4K.
Oh, okay.
It's not even capable of it. The best it's capable of is 1440p,
okay,
which is slightly better than full HD, which that looks fine. It looks good.
Yeah.
But it won't even get you to 4K, so don't even dream of that with the Series S. But the fact that it can't even get you to 1080p on old gen games is a problem. And the problem is there's lots of devs starting to come out saying that they're very concerned about the Series S holding back the generation. Like it's now they're deeming it the bottleneck of the generation. The Series S is going to be the bottleneck of the generation. And I think that's going to be true for a lot of third-party games. I think a lot of third-party games, you have to be able to make it for the Series S. Like you have to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've kind of been hearing that a lot of the devs will essentially make the game for the lowest grade console.
Yes.
And then
Exactly.
hope that the higher grade console just ups up the graphics or
So,
whatever.
so the reason why this is important is because now this isn't just like, oh, those Series S people. This is affecting all of us now. Those of us who own a PS5, a Series X, a PS5 digital, we're all all of us are now going to be impacted by this Series S.
For the porting, right?
Yes, we're all going to be impacted now. This is an issue that's affecting every gamer, which is why this is kind of an interesting and important topic. What do you think about it, Mark?
So, for me personally, frames per second is always the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why back in the day, consoles, I couldn't do 30. I hate 30. So, I'll sacrifice resolution all day for 60 FPS. That's just the standard. And
it makes that big of a difference?
It makes an insane... It's doubling your frames. It's so smooth. You can do so much more in 60 versus 30. But, I mean, that's a different topic. But I agree with what Ray is saying. This for, like, multi-plat games, it's making those games not look as lucrative. And it's making exclusives look way better.
Mm-hmm.
So this may magnify the importance of exclusives.
That's a good point.
So, although Xbox has tons and tons and tons more games, guess what? They may not look that good. And, PlayStation, they got these exclusives, and they're going to look incredible.
Maybe this is why, we don't know, but Halo Infinite was so garbage. Because behind the scenes, they were making it for the Series S and not the X.
Yeah.
But that looks super ass, man.
See, and if all of the Xbox
But they knew the Series S existed when they were making it. We didn't know. It wasn't even announced yet. It was theoried.
Right. And for it to be on this most powerful console ever, you know what I mean? And look,
that might be the truth of the matter.
Yeah. So if exclusives will always look better on the PlayStation, get the PlayStation because you're paying $500. I want to use every $500 of my hardware.
Exactly.
But on the alternate token to this, PC games have been dealing with this since the beginning of time.
Oh yeah.
And they get around it by having a graphics menu where you can tailor and set it to appropriate experience. Is Xbox going to start doing that for their games? Are we going to be able to customize every single thing to get, every ounce of our hardware? I don't know. They haven't shown it. So that's going to be, this generation. Xbox is going to have to prove like, hey, we're going to have to, all of our exclusives, design the Xbox Series S version of the game and the Xbox Series X version of the game. And that's going to be, determining, I think long term for me, am I going to play Xbox or PlayStation more is going to lie in that,
I mean, technically we were already having a similar issue to that when we're looking at current gen to next gen, right? Because if a game dev is making a game that's able to be played on a PS4 and PS5, an Xbox One X and a Series X, they've got to make it to be able to be played on the Xbox One X regardless.
Right.
So, I mean, we kind of already had that gimping of power that the game could output, which is why you do have some games that say, no, we're not on the current gen right now. We're literally just for the next gen. Series X, PS5, or nah. You know what I mean? So that's interesting that, that console would be that much of a gimp. But I mean, we have seen like there are going to be holdups to why we don't get every great piece of technology possible on these systems, right? Like I mentioned before, like the ray tracing for Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can get that with you can get 4K at 60 frames per second, sweet. But if you want ray tracing, it's not going to be available on that version.
It's
gonna be
probably still
available on a
60, but
different version.
less resolution, I think.
Maybe 14.
What I've heard is resolution is the problem with ray tracing. Like it's hard. It's very hard to get to 4K resolution and ray tracing at the same time. Like that's the difficult thing,
Right?
from what research I've done
Because
on
it's
it.
just requiring a lot of output.
Yeah, because the reflections are a resolution too. So like when something reflects on the water, that's also a built-in resolution. That's the ray tracing.
There's more pixels.
So it's just more pixels. So to get it to reflect a 4K resolution, you can't do it. So you have to dumb it down, right? So like you have to bring it down, the resolution down, in order to get the ray tracings. But they've got ways to do it. Like I've seen lots of games who have like a lower resolution, which almost look identical. The ray tracing almost looks identical to the 4K resolution. Because it's a reflection, you can't tell. Like your human eye can't really tell as much of it being a lower resolution. You can just see the reflection. Like your eye sees a reflection, and that's what matters more than the reflection being high resolution.
And the reflection has always been just a little bit less than the actual.
Yes, exactly. And so you can get away with it. So that's probably where the bottleneck is there. But I think also the architecture, right? Like I feel like the Series S is lost in an architecture long gone, like the four teraflops, like that's the bottleneck. Like that's the most that a developer can put into their game. Like this is how much you have to play with, and now you have to make a game with that. You like here's the Xbox Series S's bountiful play pile, and then here's the Series S's, and you have to stick to this, and that's what I'm worried about. Like I don't think you're gonna be able to get games like Demon Souls on a Series S. I don't even think a Series S could play a game like that, even if you dumb down the resolutions like what consoles and PCs do. Like, because even with the PC situation, you're right, because PCs have been dealing with this their whole life.
Right.
There is still a standardized base, right, architecture that the game is made, and from there you adjust resolutions and shadings and stuff like that. But there's still a base there that you can't go below. Like you just can't do it. If your system doesn't have the architecture for the base, you just can't play it. Right. If I'm playing on an old 2010 Mac, I'm just not going to be able to do it.
There's minimum graphics.
Yeah, it just isn't. There is a minimal. Yeah. And that's what I always loved about consoles was that it was great. It was great for developers because they knew exactly what they were working with and they knew exactly the market that they had to sell to, right? Yeah. Okay, there's 60 million PlayStations out there. And I know when I make this game, every one of them can play it. I'm not confused about how many can buy and how many can't buy, who has a proper architecture, who doesn't. And there's like this uncertainty. So they have all these meters and things to adjust everything. That is being hurt. That whole notion of I know what my system player base has and what I can build is being hurt by this Series S news, I think. So I don't know, man. I'm concerned. I'm not concerned for exclusives. I think Mark that's exactly right. With exclusives, we're fine. Your PlayStation exclusives are fine. I think your Xbox exclusives are not fine. Yeah, I think there's a real problem with Xbox exclusives.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's not like that. I'm hoping that
me too. But I don't know how to get around
Microsoft Studios that they know, how gimp they are with the Series S, that they just have the developers make the two different versions.
I know.
So that you can get the max out of the Series X that they try to sell you with, and that they give you this dumbed down version for the Series S. Yeah. And it can work like that for the One X or whatever. Yeah. Because I feel like they would have to put their best foot forward on their games, right? Like it's their architecture, it's their games, so you would want to see like it have to be the best. Like if I get a Sony game, a Sony developed game, and it doesn't look like one of the best damn games on their system, but a third party game was able to make a better looking game than them, I would have to question what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Because you literally made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have every in and out. Like, yeah, the third parties, they got the consoles and stuff like that, but like, this is what you're priding yourself on. You bought studios just to be able to say, hey, we make this here and you can't get it there. So I've got to put my best foot forward. I got to jump in 2 feet, you know what I mean, deep, you know what I mean, to be able to make sure I give it everything I got for my games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and this is speculation, but that leads me. So we already know the Xbox Series S is not viable for more than a year or two.
Right.
What if they're building their xCloud and they let you stream all the games on your Series S? You know, that would help with the hard drive space and the weak
That's
specs.
actually interesting.
So what if they're building their xCloud architecture and one day, 2 years from now, they're like, hey, you can play this on the Series S, but you have to use xCloud. You know, so you're streaming their servers and you know.
Because their servers has the proper teraflops and the system
because it just
necessary to
seems
run
like
it.
this
so you
is-
would get a better output just by streaming through xCloud than you would.
Right.
So what
playing the game
if
on the
they're
system.
thinking about that? Because I don't see the Xbox Series S in 5 years from now. It's like how?
I don't see how.
You know how are we gonna play on such a thing?
If it already
How-
can't play, it's like old gen, like Yakuza at a high frame rate without.
They must have a trick up their sleeve because, like, it doesn't seem viable for them to develop this old last gen hardware. You know, for the next 7-8 years, they must have a trick. They must have something up their sleeve that's gonna make it a viable machine.
It's a real problem. Like even just thinking about Halo Infinite, like like today, right now, they don't have the xCloud option. I think that is the route. That probably is the right route. Is certain games, not all, but like certain games, like the first parties, put your best first forward out games, you can do on xCloud on the Series S. But they don't have that option yet.
Yeah.
And Halo Infinite comes out next year. I don't see how they can get a great looking. They're not going to have nothing looking as good as Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Not even Miles Morales on that Series S. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do on that Infinite. That's a major problem, man. The Halo Infinite's an issue.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, one of the last things I wanted to talk to you guys about was Cyberpunk. You know, it's they're gold. They're getting ready to release. Like
They
it's
have a
coming
version
out.
ready.
Yeah,
It's printed.
Literally coming out.
Yeah.
You know, when all the consoles drop, so it's ready to go. And they gave us another Night City Wire or whatever, City Night Wire or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But they were showcasing all their cars and stuff like that. So I mean, what do you guys think of their cars, their bikes? You know, how everything was looking with the gameplay.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5.
For
Like
sure.
almost like really a copy in a sense, like the different classes of cars. Like I was
The
just
fact that
thinking-
you could steal a car if you
yeah,
didn't
you
wanna
can steal
buy
the car.
and
It's
keep it.
yeah, it was so similar, and you can buy it, and now you have it in your garage. You know, so it just screamed Grand Theft Auto. Although I will admit, one thing they did do better, I think, than Grand Theft Auto was when you go into the cab, there's lots going on, man. Like it's very intricate. There's lots to see inside the cab of the car.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. They put a lot of extra little detail there that I appreciate. So just that bodes well for the game, I think, just in general. You can see where their head's at. Like this is getting close to, you know, like Last of Us level detail. Like they're really taking it serious, you know, with the detail on this game. So that I really liked. That was intriguing to me. You can't really tell because you're watching someone drive, you can't tell how well the driving feels. I know that the last time we had someone who actually, like a journalist, play the game, they were really upset with how the driving felt. It was very
But it was also a little
touchy.
early though. Wasn't
yeah,
it?
and it was early. It was very touchy. It was almost undrivable. Like they were really complaining a lot about how the driving felt. I'm sure they've done more work on that, but we don't know.
Yeah, I mean they were sitting there trying to sell us, like, I mean, you guys saw the video, right? They were trying to sell us that they were on the racetrack with these cars, you know, with a professional racer, like drifting
Right.
and sliding around and stuff like that with these cars.
And racing doesn't interest me. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, I don't really
you're gonna be
care.
running from the cops, right? So
Yeah,
it's gonna be
that's
kinda
kind of like a
racing
race. But,
bit.
you know, like, oh, I can jump into a race mode. That's whatever to me, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, the cars look fantastic. I
Mhm.
love the classifications that they were
Mhm.
presenting to us. Like one that stood out to me was the economy car. I
That's
think it was called
hilarious,
economy.
man.
I think
The
they
piece
should've-
of crap ones, right?
The
They should've called it
Mikage,
the beater,
the
the
Mikage,
junkers, the
yeah,
clunkers.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cool, man.
So that was really cool because I like how he was going upstairs. He was going like
You can go in places you can't go normally. Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like a trade off. Like you got this jank car, but it might be useful in a particular situation.
yeah. You can go inside the building maybe with it, right? Yeah.
And I like the big trucks. Just crashing into things.
I like the cyber car or whatever, the one that was like fast and armored on the street.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I forgot.
That
the
was
name of
cool.
one.
Yeah, that was
But
dope.
I liked how like each car had a particular purpose.
Yeah,
So
true.
it'll give you an incentive to try different cars.
Mhm.
Because normally you just want the fastest, the cleanest car.
Mhm.
But this, it's like, all right, well, I need my pros and
I need some
cons.
armor here.
I need
Yeah,
some armor. I need to be nimble, or
Yeah. small.
I need a
Mhm.
motorcycle. The motorcycle look cool too. So I like the varying vehicles. I think they did a great job with that. To respond to how the car felt, I mean, I hope some cars do legit are a little more touchy. Like, let's say
The
some-
economy or something,
yeah.
less handling. Yeah.
I think there should be a correlation of how rare it is, how much it costs, to how it feels. So hopefully that's in the game. If not, that's not a deal breaker. But going back to how like the inside of the cars looked, I like how they're all different, unique.
Mhm.
That was,
Every car.
every car.
It's not
has-
like the economies had the same dash. Every economy
car was
in that
different.
class had a different, inside
So-
look.
So they didn't spare any time. They really took their time to design each car. And I think we'll
Mhm.
really, when we experience each car, we'll be able to see, to feel that. So that's really cool. I hope the music and the stations, like Grand Theft Auto, I was like
Mhm.
going through.
Me too, dude.
So I hope there's
Yeah.
some cool stations in there.
Yeah.
But it really got me excited for the game, and it looked really good. So
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's not a third person perspective on that game, right? There isn't one, is there?
I don't think so. The
Okay.
gameplay fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
just
first person.
like playing the whole game. Yeah, because I feel like trying to compare it to Grand Theft Auto's first person wouldn't be quite fair because they've built it around a first person perspective when Grand Theft Auto was built around a third person perspective, but they added a first person. So like the detail should be way higher.
Well,
because there isn't that third
That's
person
true, but I
look.
just don't think that. I even when I'm driving, I don't see myself spending time in the cab. It's harder to drive that way. Like it's just naturally harder to drive inside the cab. I've never liked it. Like whenever a game does it, even like the Sims, the racing Sims, I
Yeah.
always do the outside look. It's so much more easier. You see so much more.
Yeah,
it's
because
so
you
much
have
more
a bigger
easier.
perspective.
Yeah,
a
you
larger
can see
perspective.
more.
Yeah.
Like so I don't see myself really going into the first person mode, even in driving. I see myself always doing the third person mode. But that they took the time to make the unusual, rarely played first person driving experience really neat by having all the stuff to look at. I just thought was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can customize like largely like all the cars. I know that they did say that there would be some customization and certain paint jobs I believe would be accessible if you purchased it as opposed to just stealing it or something like that on the road. But I kind of want to take my economy beater and juice that sucker up so that I can use that for all my crimes. And then when I'm just chilling, rolling through, I can grab the nice whips and pull
All
up
my
and be
crimes.
like, "Was good," you know what I mean? and
Yeah,
hop
what's
out in my
good?
suit, you know what I mean, and go
What's
do it,
good?
go bum rush somebody. But I want to like hot rod charge my economy car, so it's like
You wanna
all
make
beat
them
up on the
sleepers.
outside, but that sucker will dust any cop car that comes near me. You know what I mean?
that'd be cool.
That's
Yeah,
funny,
so-
man.
But I definitely like the way the cars looked. Like they looked really nice. Some of the pictures of the interiors and stuff look damn real. Like it
It's
looked
cool.
like ray tracing was in
Mhm.
full effect on top
Yeah,
of that
this
stuff.
the gameplay footage was ray traced, of course.
Yeah,
Which is a
So-
little bit of a bummer because those of us that are going to be playing on current gen, it's not going to look that way.
right. Yeah, but yeah, everything looked good. I mean, the options, the names of the cars, all that stuff screamed, Grand Theft Auto, and it's
Mhm.
kind of hard to not be compared to Grand Theft Auto.
They did it
at
best,
this
right?
point.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
started it, and they've just been the only ones to progress it and
Right.
make it, and perfect it and all that. So, everything looks good, but. I like that you could have like a large list of the cars and whatnot. So I'm guessing somewhere V has a garage to park the cars in. I'm hoping that in that sense it does work exactly like Grand Theft Auto, where you can steal a car, park it in your garage, and it is yours now.
I doubt
and
it.
You can do whatever.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because I would much rather
I'm
get my
sure-
car for free 99 than to have to pay for it.
Well, they mentioned you have to buy cars. Like
They did mention
that
they said you
if
could
you want
buy
the
cars.
car, you can permanently you can buy it. But it might be something along the lines of like once you steal a car and garage it, maybe for the duration of that car's life you have it. But
Oh,
let's
like
say
if it
like
blows up or something, it's
or
done?
let's say you steal another car, then that becomes your new.
I hope not. I
Right.
hope not the
I
stealing
don't think
of
it's
a car.
permanent, man. There'd be no way. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because I know in
Because in
Grand
Grand
Theft
Theft
Auto,
Auto, you change the paint and everything on it.
It's
Now
yours.
it became yours.
yeah. I mean, as soon as you pulled it in the garage,
Yeah,
that
it
shit
was
was yours.
yours,
So
yeah.
you could leave it somewhere, but you could call it back, and it's
Yeah.
yours. You know what I mean? That car is yours.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's what it is, and I really hope that that there is more detail as opposed to like how you can keep your apartment. Like, can you progress, like get like a better apartment later on as you're playing the game? You know, I don't know if you guys caught like any of the pre-show, but they were talking a lot about like how people move in the game, the rich, the poor, different things
They
like
move
that. So
different,
they were
huh? That's
they
cool.
were, you know, kind of saying like, oh, the rich people, you know, they get access to these cars and they have this and they're out seen doing
Right.
this and stuff like that. You know, you have the poor people driving this and walking around and different things like that. So I'm hoping that you are part of that rich poor. You know what I mean? Like if you're rich, people address you a little differently because they know you got the money. You know what I mean? Like you got cars getting, you know, brought to you in a special way or something like that, as opposed to like, you know, having to, you know, go and get your car or something like that. Like you got like a VIP, you know, call and some guy comes up, pulls up in your car, you know, dusts his seat off for you, hop in, sir, or something like that. You know, it'd be cool if you're able to see those aspects. You know, they talked about how like the rich people are able to access different areas and different things like that. So I hope that your stature in that world, you know, like how you are perceived, goes a long way.
We'll see how much detail they put into it.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
know
That'd be
it's, you know, depending on how your background is or whatever, you know, your certain conversations are different. So I would just like it to be like you're addressed differently as well on the side of the streets, you know, kind of like I'll go back to like Fable. You know what I mean? When you're a bad guy, you're addressed as such when you're walking around. People cower in front of you. You know, they run away, different things like that. If you're a good guy, people are looking, you know, they're clapping as you walk by, different things. I want the world to be affected by me. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about the Porsche at the end?
dude, I thought that definitely the Porsche and the Arc bikes are probably going to be like they're more like special, like the top of the line versions. Like I feel like if you're sitting there and you're promoting Keanu Reeves bike company in the game, that better be
That's
the
a good
best
point.
damn bike in the game.
That's a
It
good
better
point.
better have like the best customizations. It better be the fastest. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be the most expensive, but it should be worth it. That should be like the top of the line, like where you're trying to get to. You know
Bikes,
what
huh?
I mean? Yeah, I mean, you know, because Keanu Reeves, you know, he does the
Yeah.
bikes. So, like, you know,
But you
if the
want
bikes
bikes to
ain't
be the
proper-
top?
No,
No,
just saying
I'm
the
just
top
saying
bikes. Like his
of
bikes
that,
will be
yeah.
the
Oh,
top
I
bikes.
got you.
yeah, because they
Okay,
have
got
different
you.
bikes, you know,
I got
so
you.
that should be the top
Okay.
bike. You know, as far as like that Porsche is concerned, sucker look nice. But I mean,
Yeah.
all of the cars look nice. Like
Yeah,
I
they
really
do.
like some of those futuristic joints with the butterfly, you know,
Yeah.
doors.
Dude, they
and all
look,
that stuff.
yeah, they're very unique.
Yeah.
And they incorporated some like modern day looks too into their cars.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
they threw a
like-
lot of cyberpunk onto those
Yeah,
cars.
a lot of
Yeah.
cyberpunk onto those cars. Yeah,
Right.
like the double fronts. It's like this guys are funny, man.
Yeah.
I looked at that. I was like, gosh, I wouldn't want that car, man. That's 2 more tires I gotta buy, 2 more rotors, 2 more brakes, another axle I gotta worry about.
But if one of those tires pops, you still probably able to roll pretty smoothly.
Yeah,
without,
probably.
You, know,
You
having to
probably
change
still
it
could
for,
drive, but
like, an
yeah,
18-wheeler
it
or
would
something.
change your handling for sure. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I mean, I guess that's all we have for this week's episode. We appreciate you guys listening. If you have stayed this long, because I think we almost hit like around 2 hours or something like that.
That
But
UI,
yeah, so-
man.
yeah, that UI, and then basically, Genshin Impact. That was a big one that we talked
Yeah,
about.
that was
So-
cool, man.
So I'm definitely checking
Dude,
that
grab
one
it,
out.
bro.
Let us know for all our YouTube viewers in the comments down below. What games you guys are playing this week. We'd love to know, especially if you got some good tips on Genshin Impact.
Mhm.
Also, if you're on Destiny 2, hit me up. I'm on the Xbox, of course, but I'll definitely join in. Oh, by the way, I happened to come across these people. I was in the tower yesterday playing, and I couldn't even believe the name of their clan. It was called Sovereign 7.
Dang.
You had to join it, huh? You had to join it, huh?
Yeah.
So I totally ditched the clan that we were in. I left that alone.
Dude, man, I would do the 8-man empire, dude.
8-man empire?
Cradle, bro.
Oh yeah,
The 8-man
dude.
empire.
That
Dude,
book
that's
was
so-
good, man. I
that's so
finished
cool.
the book. That book was
I'm
good.
like 6 hours away from finishing it.
Okay, yeah, but so I joined that one, and they're like all the way filled up, so I'm able to get like all the bonuses from
Dang,
the
nice.
clan banner and stuff like that.
That's cool. You
dope.
joined them. You gotta
Yeah,
join
but
that,
Sovereign
yeah.
7, man. If you
The
guys like
Sovereign
clans, join that
7.
one. That's what I'm in.
That's
man.
cool.
Ali Sovereign. But yeah,
That's
so
fun.
until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow on all of the platforms. Check us out. Stay tuned. We drop episodes every Saturday. I mean, not every Saturday. We do them every Saturday, but they
Every
drop
Monday
every
they drop. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, until next time, we catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
I love you, me.